Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the As Always podcast, episode 125. I am one of your hosts, Tyler, joined not as always, but once again, but for the first time as a special co-host and not guest, one of the four pillars, George, aka Long-Eared Fox. How's it going, gamer?
It's going sweet, it's good to be here.
It's exciting to have you here. I appreciate you coming on. You and Ethan have stepped up and have now both... all four pillars have co-hosted the As Always podcast.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The official Four Pillars podcast, I'll call it. Which is great. So I appreciate you being here. It means a lot. James should be back soon. He's, from my conversation with him, he's doing well. He just did streamed the PlayStation Reveal Event for the PlayStation 5. And hopefully soon. We don't want to rush him, but things will get back to normal.
Yeah, the return of the king will happen, and everyone will be
return of the king.
Back to normal again. Yeah. It does feel weird without him making content and being on Twitter all the time. Like it's like my timeline and my feed is just like kind of dead.
Yeah. It's same here actually. Yeah, it is. It is very strange. Nothing stranger though than doing the podcast, I'd say. But it's been.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's been an interesting time still though, because we've still been pumping out the podcast. Still been putting out the content. The last podcast with Ethan was awesome. Clubhouse last week was amazing. That I do with Jared, and I know for a fact this episode is gonna be fucking awesome too. So we keep going on. We still, As Always Entertainment, continues to deliver through good times, through bad times, and here we are. And it'll be amazing when James is back.
Yeah, the community props the podcast up when it needs it.
Exactly right. I just consider myself super lucky that we have the community, and that when James needs a break like this, he can take it, and we've got people like you and Ethan that can step up and not just be here as like, it's not like I could get anyone, right? And it wouldn't be the same, but you and Ethan, it still feels like it's the As Always podcast.
Yeah, that's I'm the closest you can get to James, really.
Yeah, that's true. Literally, like genetically speaking, 100%. Like, couldn't get any closer. But it is. I was really happy with seeing lots of comments from people on the last episode saying like, "Oh, it still felt like just a regular As Always podcast," which is what I want. Whereas, like, if I just reached out to someone that's not a regular or someone that's not one of the pillars, it would feel like a whole different show altogether rather than an As Always podcast. So it's good. And here we are. And of course, it wouldn't happen, as we said, without this community. Mm-hmm. It also wouldn't happen specifically without the great producers over on patreon.com/As Always. King Richard III, Damian, Avry Dobbs, Tony the Arbiter's Delightful Penis, Josh Devillier, Adam Sundling, Patreon producer for the Cumhouse podcast, aka Alberic, DIDDLOTIC, Cat94, Viridian, Real Ciaran Hawkins, aka Hedgehog12, and Ballsack47, our producers. Thank you guys so much for making this show happen, As Always Entertainment happen, and keeping the people entertained. So, you're the reason that through breaks we kick on, the content continues, and the entertainment value continues. And if you want to know what the Cumhouse podcast is, head over to patreon.com/As Always. It's $1 a month. It's fucking amazing. For the last Clubhouse episode 85 I did with my housemate Jared, and we got very drunk, and it was the filthiest thing I've ever produced for content. So go listen to it. People loved it. I, in fact, spat out. George, I didn't think it was possible to spit out a drink like they do on TV shows, like on sitcoms, when you like take a sip of something, you just spit it everywhere. Yes. I literally did that on the podcast. Like, I took a sip of rum and just spat it out everywhere. Because Jared said some things.
I think I need to start pledging $1 a month, to be honest, because I stopped.
Dude, you need, if you don't listen to any other Clubhouse, you specifically, obviously everyone else should listen to every other episode, but you specifically, George, should listen to that last Clubhouse.
Yeah, I think I might do. I mean, I've got nothing but time to kill still.
That's true. Is England still in lockdown?
We're easing out. It says towards the 22nd of this month they're going to start opening pubs. which is a bit like, ooh, I don't know if we're ready for that yet, but whatever.
Definitely not. Yeah, there's only 140 cases in all of Australia active right now.
Australia slapped the shit out of this virus, man.
Yeah, we did bits and pieces. So did New Zealand. New Zealand has 0 cases and is completely open now. New Zealand eradicated it. They obviously have a smaller population than even us, but they did well. They did fucking bits, and we're following suit. I mean, everything's open again now. But we're still doing like the social distancing and certain restricted numbers. So like, they're doing good tracing stuff. Like, I've been out to restaurants and shit, and they'll take the name and phone number of like one member of the group, so if for some reason something happened, they can call people and let them know, someone that came and ate here has got COVID, go get tested and shit.
It seems like a pretty good system. Like, you're actually doing the proper precautions, but here we were just like, it was never clear what we could and couldn't do. And it just like the lines become even more blurred as the time goes on, but we just sort of let the government get on with whatever they think they're doing and just hope for the best, really. That's the current situation, it feels like, anyway.
That's fucked, man. That's fucked.
Yeah,
I feel like, I mean, in my state in particular, there's only 4 cases active. So, like, no, to us, it's like, no one fucking has coronavirus here, so I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, no one, like, go to the shops anywhere, then go to, like, a shopping centre, a mall or wherever. Like, no one gives a fuck about coronavirus anymore here. Like, everyone's like, that thing that doesn't really exist that China made up that obviously didn't affect us? Yeah, no. No one
it's like it never happened.
No one cares about it here. And literally, like, there's no social distancing, no one cares. Like, businesses are doing social distancing, but people there at the business don't care. Like, we don't have it, you don't have it, no one has it, it's not real. But no, it feels good. Like, last week was the first time I went out somewhere and ate, and me and all my friends sat there and we're like, holy shit, this is the first time we've sat at out to eat in a few months. And I obviously feel worse for other countries that went into lockdown, one before we did, I guess, technically.
When did you go into lockdown? Like, what day?
I mean, we didn't really go into lockdown like you guys went into lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably like we did sort of, but I mean, for me, I guess my work was essential-ish. So, I mean, I went to work every day. I didn't miss a day. I didn't miss a fucking minute of work. If anything, I've been busier now than I've ever been with work.
Yeah.
So, it's just, my life has just sort of gone on, other than gym's closed, so I built a home gym, and now I never want to go back to the gym because I love having a home fucking gym. It's so good. It's so fucking awesome, because my problem is, like, I'll finish work late or early. It depends on the days, and I hate like that extra drive to the gym and back. I'm like, I could just get home at no matter what time, and I can do a work at any time. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. I don't have to think about it, worry about it. And as well, if I'm at home and I'm like, I feel like working out now, I can just do it. I don't have to, like, I'll get changed, I'll drive to the gym. I hate that. For me, I don't need it.
If you even wanted to.
I could do it naked. I definitely could work out naked as well. That's a big thing. Haven't done that yet, but I could do that. But yeah, going out, man, like that's the key. And, like, obviously, I think we're doing progressive open ups. I think it's mid-July, at least in my state. That's when you can have a gathering of 100 again.
Holy shit.
And then it'll be, like, more even though, like sports back, pretty much all Australian sports back, which is amazing. Like, the rugby's back, Aussie rules football's back, and the UFC's back. So my 3 main sports I watch are all back now. So that's so fucking awesome, just to be able to watch sports again. And then
everything was cancelled.
Yeah, the fucking the footy this weekend. They're letting audience in. I think they're letting 10,000 people in, but they're doing social distancing in the stadium.
Well, how do you do that though? Like, sit a chair apart?
Yeah, I think they'll be like, people have to sit a chair apart, sort of thing. But it's like the Gabba where Brisbane Lions play. That's like a 60,000 seat stadium. So they're only letting like 10,000 people in, and then I think like 20,000 the next week or something.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And it's open air, so I'm like, fucking, it's not that crazy, I guess. But you'd have to be they'll have to register everyone and what seat they sat at. That way, like, if someone got it, you can be like, you sat near them within that vicinity. Like, they're not going to contact all fucking 10,000 people. That would be fucking retarded. You know, the person sitting on the other side of the stadium. It's like I don't think they fucking caught it over the air, but you know,
they just coughed really hard and it went all the way over to the other side.
Yeah, it's wild, and I think about this like in some ways I don't know how Australia did so well. I mean, we handled it well, and I guess we took it seriously, but Australians are so fucking lazy and laid back. Like all this, like there's so much protesting going on in the US for all these obviously very important issues. And rightfully so, they're out there protesting. But fuck, man, and we're protesting in Australia too.
Yeah, and in the UK as well.
And the UK, all over the world. For this Black Lives Matter movement, which is amazing. But also, like, if it was an issue that was Australia based, like the French fucking protest everything. That's what I've realised about the French. They fucking love a good protest and riot and looting. Like, they'll fucking flip cars and burn shit if fuel prices go up like 10 cents.
Yeah, they riot for everything just because they know they can. Just
because like Australians are too fucking lazy, man. Like we're just like I'm
all set, right. Man. I can't be asked. I don't know what the fuck that was.
That was dude. That was terrible. That was the worst. That was awful. That was fucking awful. No, it's like I don't know. Our mentality, Australian mentality is she'll be right. Nah, don't worry about it. Yeah,
I think you guys listen to your government though, to an extent, like more so than we do over here.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like it's hard to say. I feel like, and no offense to you, I just feel like, I'll tell you what. I think there's as many dumb people per capita in the UK as there is in Australia. I really, truly do. The difference is, I think Australians that are dumb know they're dumb. I don't think English people that are dumb realise they're fucking dumb.
Oh, they don't.
That's the worst part about them. That's the worst part I found about English people, is they all think they're fucking smart. Whereas, like, I'm going to tell you right now, Australians, we don't fucking think we're smart. We just are like, yeah, fucking whatever. I'm not smart, it is what it is, but fucking, I think there's just many people that are dumb here, but I feel like more of us know we're dumb. More of us here know we're stupid.
The people over here that are dumb are usually quite self-righteous, so they're just like, yeah, you know, my opinion's completely correct. Like, you know, if I want to go out and fucking... Like, recently there's been people that have been, like, counter-protesting the Black Lives Matter protests, and it's basically just a bunch of, like, right-wing, like, crazies that are just fighting the police at this point. And they're just doing it because they want to fight. Yeah, they're fighting the police because they just want to fight. It's just like a group of lads.
Why are they? But if are they protesting against Black Lives Matter? As in, they don't get fucked by Black Lives Matter. They're not like protesting like for the police side of things.
They were protesting against the people destroying like the statues and shit, which I find hilarious because like it's just like a fucking statue. Like who gives a shit?
Are people doing that in the UK?
Oh yeah. The Winston Churchill statue recently got a metal box around it now because people were actually fucking it up. But this again, I
was just watching this comedian Andrew Schultz, who's been fucking killing it during this whole thing, and he was talking about this whole the Confederate flag and all these statues and Confederate statues being taken. He's like, yes, they should be being taken down, but it's not because they're racist. He's like, if you took every statue down. He's like, every statue's fucking racist in some ways. He's like, are you going to fucking... Your grandparents were probably racist. You're going to get rid of their tombstones. He's like, that's retarded. He's like, every fucking statue's racist. He's like, Confederate flags? Yes, ban it. Confederate statues? Yes, ban it. Not because they were racist. All these statues are racist. He's like, because they're fucking traitors and losers. He's like, they tried to fucking fight us. They turned against America. They're against America. That's why. He's like, they tried to divide America. They tried to fight America, and they fucking lost, and that's why they should be taken down.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, that makes sense. But I just love that point. He's just like, he's like, your grandparents are probably fucking racist. You're gonna get rid of their tombstones. I'm like, I mean, he's got a point there. He's got a fucking point. And he's just like, the pyramids were built by fucking slavers. Yeah. He's like, are we going to get rid of the pyramids? I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, I understand the argument of like, we're glorifying these racists, but you could do that with everyone. At what point do you draw the line? So I think some things leave it is, but these Confederates, like, they're fucking losers. They're a bunch of fucking traitor losers to the United States, so fuck them off.
Yeah, like, most people that have a statue... Like, most people that have a statue are like, they don't deserve a fucking statue anyway, like, most times. It's just someone that's gone, yeah, erect a statue of me because I'm a massive narcissist.
Yeah, right. To be fair, Churchill probably does deserve a statue, to be fair.
Well, yeah, to an extent. I mean,
you probably saved your fucking country.
100%, and I think a lot of people are forgetting that, you know, that he did do some crazy shit for Europe as a whole. But I guess, you know, it's a slippery slope, a topic like this, you know, where you've got someone that's done really morally good things, and on the other hand was, like, also
I don't know
kind of
shit
racist.
about Churchill being racist. I'm sure he probably was because he was old and he lived in the 40s. Like, obviously, I guess he probably was.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not educated, but I'm not going to claim to be. But I will claim to know what he did in the Second World War. And he pretty much is one of the people that saved fucking allies. And
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So, and
even
I feel
though he was
like
a massive
I
drunk.
prefer him over Hitler. So I'm glad
same.
he did it. You know what I mean? So I feel like Hitler was more racist. I might be wrong. I don't know.
But I guess it
like
isn't a competition of who was the most racist, because obviously a lot of people are bringing up the argument, you know, all these statues that people are, you know, ripping down and stuff like that. A lot of people are going, yeah, but they weren't as bad as Hitler, and people are like, well, yeah, but they were still bad in their own way, which I understand. I don't care about fucking statues, man. Anyway. They're just fucking big, like, big brass objects. Like, what even are they?
Oh my god. Well, I feel like we're going to get into some real philosophical shit, George. Like, we've got some gaming to talk about, no doubt about the LazerzZ podcast, but I thought to myself, I'm like, I feel like with George, there's some things we're going to get into. And there's some things with you. I love a good chat with you, George. I don't get to chat to you one-on-one enough.
That's true.
And I feel like sometimes on, like, the Four Pillars podcast, you sometimes might step back and let, you know, Ethan and I love to fucking talk, so we'll go loud and loud and loud. But when you come in, you have some... You're a smart young man. You've got some shit to say. So part of the reason I'm excited for you to co-host with me today, I'm actually very excited to pick your brain a bit and have a chat. I appreciate that. And you're also into shit that maybe James isn't as much into as I am. Like you love yourself a Rogan podcast, and you'll listen to these fucking, you know, scientist shit and these fucking conspiracy theorists, and we'll have a good time. So
we definitely will.
Again. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're listening to here and you want to hear more for just $1 a month, head over to patreon.com/LazerzZ, and you get exclusive access to the Clubhouse podcast, over 85 episodes. It's hundreds of hours of content, plus a week's early access to the Cinema Room podcast when that happens. It's not a regular scheduled thing at the moment. It's on hiatus, but every time something new, whether it's a movie, a game, a TV show that James and I want to cover, comes out, we'll do a Cinema Room on it. That means we might do 2 in a week if something happens like that, or we might not do one for a month. We're just playing it by ear at the moment, especially because there's nothing really new happening right now because of COVID, and hopefully as things start releasing again, it'll come back to its regular schedule, but we'll see what happens. The Last of Us Part 2 will get a Cinema Room, no doubt about it, which comes out in a week's time. This week it comes out, which is exciting, and we're going to preview that on today's podcast, of course, so stay tuned for that. And thank you to the Sweet Vintage Lads for helping power this podcast. Once again, that is King Richard III, Damian, Avry Dobbs, Tony, the Arbiter's Delightful Penis, Josh Devillier, Adam Sundling, Patreon producer from the Cum House podcast, a.k.a. Olbrick, DIDDLOTIC, Cat94, Viridian, Real Simon Hawkins, a.k.a. H+12, Paulsack 47, Casey Wood, Pink Flame 313, Henry, Sicarius, a.k.a. Ciaran, Kevin, Bond, Aminul, Alfie Rowsell, no, how about you shut the fuck up? No one cares what you think. I don't like you. Go fuck yourself, a.k.a. Browny. Jesper Olsen, Lumistrad, my 5380 is the king of RPGs. Kima Saba Gamer Cream Pies, Red Crown Crane. Jared is my spirit animal, the Cree. Josh J. Anderson, Fat Fuck Cuck, Brendan and BQ Blood, Matt, Ravjai, Marquise de Ben, but then also Ben Desard, 1989. Philip Stillwack and Kyle Mag, a.k.a. the guy who makes his own Assassin Christmas. Diogo, Bleeding Edge 274. No Mojo, Benedict Clobbers, Gwen Hughes, 2018, 1998, 20, Max H, Gene is doing bits in the coal mines, Owen Brainseek, a.k.a. Frank from Destination Wedding, Son of a Bitch, OG Doggo, No It Was, Furious Coco, I'm a Fucking Psycho, Sab2557, Nick Miller, the ACMJS, Radok, Pop Lop is not dead, Smexy Dork, Assassin, Connor Bully in the Alley, Panicchio, Kyle, S. Marcus, a.k.a. Blackburn, Victor Eliasson, Sandwich Man, Emil Catborg, Joshua Mora, Walshy Desard, 1989, I don't know what this fucking meme is, Ginkgo Swag, Red Chunked Crane, Casper Coral is shagging on top of a hippogriff, my dick slick, thick, quick, sick, hard as a brick in a chick, by the way, my name is Rick, Master Bash, Ashton, aka The Weekend Simp, Conversations plus our new bro George Welford, I have an argument about that, George the Sexy Boy Smith, Joe the Founded Marquis de Sade, 1989, Scarab, what the fuck is happening? Gimme Your Penis, Evan Brown, Winona Ryder, aka Lindsay from Destination Wedding, Luca, Alfie Robert, Brian Ford, aka the thickest cookie Tyler's ever had, Brisk Brave Brigadiers, Brandished Broad Bright Blades, Blunderbusses, and Bludgeons balancing them badly. Fishy, Jack DG, 1998, Team Anna Travis, Billy, the Team Turner, Mike Captain Robertson, and Boogie Woogie Buggle Boy. Thank you so much for helping me out this podcast. What the fuck's happening? This is fucked.
Oh, God.
Shit is fucked.
Oh my God. Do you tell people to like change their names to this weird shit, or do they just do it?
They started doing it, and then we continued to encourage it because the list became. It comes so long that it's just like, oh, it's so long and boring. Whereas now, because every single week it's completely changed this fucked up shit, it's funny. Now it's actually really enjoyable to read the list. I actually look forward to reading the list now.
You know, that's amazing. I look forward to listening to it.
Yeah, well. I was gonna say, I was like, you've been here when the list has been longer and longer and longer every episode.
Yeah.
And to you, I feel like it got boring to you, and is it more entertaining now than it ever has been in some ways?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic now.
Exactly.
It's beautiful now.
Like,
me and Ethan used to just like be like, oh, not this fucking list again. But yeah, it's fucking, it's brilliant.
It's brilliant now. So I encourage continued changes to the list, and we've been getting a lot of tongue twisters lately, and those I've been enjoying as well.
The simple things.
Yeah. So it's been good. I'm trying to do this thing right, because it's always James that does the editing. I do the pre-production. James does the post-production of podcasts. Yeah. I did this thing last week with Ethan, last episode with Ethan, where as we talked, I wrote down timestamps as we went. Not like the times, but just like topics. That way, like
in the order they came.
Just so I would remember, and I could go search for that point of conversation, not then later on be like, oh, I wonder, what were we talking about here? I don't even remember what we were talking about here. And you're like scrolling through when you're scanning, and you're like, are we talking about, we talked about that for a bit. When did that start,
Oh, God, yeah.
No.
I'd hate that. I hate editing a podcast. Oh, it would make me rip my fucking hair out.
No, it's not too bad now.
Well, I reckon James is probably a fucking wizard at it.
Oh yeah, by now he's a master. He's a master. But yeah. Anyway, what we were talking about, all this fucking shit going down, the state of the world right now, George. There's 2020 coronavirus, the lockdowns, the Black Lives Matter movement, and these protests and shit. Where's your head at with this, man? Like, how do you feel right now in yourself? How are you handling this?
I mean, to me, it was, especially with the Black Lives Matter stuff recently and everything that happened so quickly, it was a sensory overload a bit for me. I was like, Christ, like, so much stuff is happening at once, so many stories being reported about at once. And I had to take a little step back and just, like, take a few days off social media. But I think all this stuff that's happening goes to show, like, we're at, like, 2020 feels like some form of precipice. Like, it's building up and building up. Like, this is going to be a year that we're going to remember for, like, the rest of our lives. We're going to look back on it and be like, what the hell was 2020 doing? That was cracked. So in that regard, I mean, it feels like an important year, for, like, the coronavirus could cause more social solidarity as we come out of it. I hope so. I hope people learn lessons from it, and that we should appreciate, oneness. But also with the Black Lives Matter stuff, I really hope it makes some progress and some headway in, like, all across the world, so we can start getting justice for people that have been, left sort of silent until now. So I think it's a good thing. I think we'll come out of 2020 better than we went into it.
Well, I mean, the saying goes, easy times make weak people, hard times make tough people, and I hope these hard times make us tougher, make us stronger, and we'll learn from it, and we'll come out the other end. You adapt or perish. That's evolution. So we've got to learn from this, and we've got to grow. And certainly the Black Lives Matter stuff. Like, I mean, it's a movement that's been going on for a lot of years, and I think now is from where the world is and how connected we are right now. it's never opened my eyes more than it has now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think these are important movements happening. The only thing I worry about is that we get some justice here in this situation, and then we move on and we don't continue that momentum, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, there's a lot more to do than police brutality to solve racism. There's a lot more than that's got to be done. You know, where's the root of the problem comes from disadvantaged communities, and there was a great Rogan podcast the other week that I was listening to, and I forget who the guest was, but he was talking about this not being a race war. It's actually a class war, because you've got companies like Amazon that are sponsoring Black Lives Matter rallies. And why were they doing that? Well, they hope in these rallies, the cynical conspiracy theory, right? Here, I'll give you. So obviously, I mean, it could be as simply as, you know, virtue signaling, wanting to look good PR move. Because it's not like the Black Lives Matter movement negatively or positively affects Amazon. They could just, you know, get money, good PR move, good publicity, don't look like racists.
I think that's what it boils down to, a lot of the time.
All the conspiracy theory is this. What happens at these rallies? There is looting. Obviously, people come in, right? Not there's peaceful, so many peaceful protests, but like fuckwits come in and ruin it, and they'll riot and loot.
Yep.
And this is, who does that impact, George? Retail stores, small businesses. Who are Amazon's competition?
Well, nobody really.
Retail stores and small businesses, though.
The small dudes.
Those small businesses. And then, you know, the unemployment goes up because of fucking COVID, and then these businesses are shutting down, and where do they go? They work in a fucking Amazon warehouse. They go, you know, in these rural areas. They, you know, it becomes an Amazon monopoly. And they want people to focus on being race and not class. And the thing is, race comes into class, because disproportionately in Australia, in the UK, in the United States, people of colour are... disproportionately in lower class communities, and that's where things need to change, right? It's not about it can't just be simply about, if you're going to change the way people see race, and not have these police automatically have these institutionalized racism, or have these expectations when they see a person of colour, they're going to assume, oh, I'm in this area, this is a bad neighbourhood, there's predominantly people of colour, it's crime-ridden, and then they have that they're way more fucking trigger-happy, they're way more inclined to just assume the worst of that person. You know, that's institutionalised racism, based on patterns and training they were given. If you beat that in the future, not just by... you know, better education, obviously. Also, the fucking cops need to be trained way fucking better in that country. Holy fuck. It's also a privatised police system, as you know, in most places.
Yeah, and internal investigations as well. It's like, that's a big thing. And
their unions protect them so much. It's very different in the United States to Australia, the way the police system works. I'm not sure about the UK. But
neither am I, to be honest.
Yeah. But, you know, you've got to... I've been trying to figure out how I can do anything to help communities on my country. Obviously can't do as much help America. I live in Australia, and we have problems here with our Indigenous community, you know, in terms of them being disadvantaged. There's lots of reasons for it. It's very complicated. I certainly am not completely educated on this and don't have all the answers, or really any answers perhaps, but I've just been trying to look at what can I do to help those communities.
And I think that's what more people should do.
Good causes to whether it's donate to or get involved with. There's a great, you know, martial arts is a big part of my life. There's a great you see jiu-jitsu outreach program that UFC fighter Robert Whittaker's involved in, former UFC champion, that he does, going out to these indigenous rural communities and doing, you know, spending time with them, doing martial arts training, getting them active and involved in sport and these martial arts that, you know, teach a lot of discipline and sets goals. And if there's anything that can unite people, to be honest, it's sport.
Definitely.
All cultures love competition and love sport. So that's a great uniter. That's a great uniter. And a bit of gaming. That's it.
Oh god.
But yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. That's what I've been thinking. I don't know how to get involved just yet. But it's definitely opened my eyes a lot, and I hope that it has for other people too.
Yeah, I think it's changed my viewpoint on it. More of the sense that I do believe in a way now that I guess just being not racist isn't necessarily, it doesn't help anyone, you know. And obviously people that don't want to get involved with this sort of stuff, people are, you know, they're exercising their right to distance themselves from certain things they don't want to get involved with, and I'm not going to judge people and call them racist based on the fact that they don't want to get involved with everything. But I do think that if you want to make some form of difference, you have to, I guess, take the action that you can, you know. You have to think about the things that you can do, you know, what would I be able to do, no matter how small or how big, you know, in some way, you just have to do what you can. Because obviously race is a massive thing to fix, isn't it? You know, it's going to take education of generations. I think it's going to take a lot of looking into the police systems, especially in America, and you know, body cams, and you know, people that supposedly their body cam footage turns off magically, and police pensions and stuff like that. Because one of the dudes, what was the dude's name that killed George Floyd? What was his name again? I don't remember.
I don't know. I remember.
Police officer that killed him, apparently he's been charged with second-degree murder, obviously, or is going to be on trial for it. Yeah. And he still has the possibility of getting $1 million pension when he gets out of jail.
Yeah, wow.
Which is like crazy. So I think people should look into, you know, if you could be held accountable for something bad that happens to someone under your custody, you can have your pension revoked. Possible things like that, you know, just ways to stop these people from feeling like they can do whatever they want and not have any consequences.
And it's also like the dude fucking stood on his fucking neck, man.
Yeah, it was clear as day.
Like if it wasn't on purpose to fucking kill him like he did, then it's because he's fucking completely incompetent at restraining a person.
Exactly.
Which tells me you weren't fucking trained very well. You're a fucking pussy. If you can't hold someone down by their legs, you're a fucking pussy to me.
Especially,
and you shouldn't be a cop. And don't get me wrong, like I've had personally really no bad. I know a lot of police officers. I've nothing against the police, especially in my country. Personally,
yeah.
It's a fucking shit job. What a fucking awful job. I would never want to do that. But. It doesn't mean they're perfect and the system's fucking perfect. It's far from it. There's so much to be done to improve it, and in my country, for sure, I think most especially in the United States, at least in terms of Western world, the American police force, I'm sure, is a lot better than fucking plenty of other places around the world that are way worse and way more corrupt. But if we're talking about the Western free world, it's
like go to like the favela where they've got like AKs and they just kill civilians.
I was gonna say, go to Brazil, see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to Brazil, see what the fuck happens. Holy shit!
Oh god!
Holy shit! Shout out to Brazil.
Shout out to the favelas in Brazil.
There will be something to be like, love from Brazil, big fan. There always is. There's always someone.
New AC game in Brazil.
On every music video you'll ever watch on YouTube, there's always one comment like, "Oh, Brazil loves you," or something like that.
Love from Brazil.
It's always a top comment. It's always a top comment. Love from Brazil. It's like, why the fuck? Fucking what?
We love Ariana Grande. Love from Brazil. Oh god,
exactly,
bless him.
Man. Exactly, man. It's, you know, it's strange fucking times, and it feels weird talking about it. Like
it does.
Like, I feel like it needs to be talked about. I want to talk to you about it, but also it's like people be like, "Guys, shut the fuck up. You don't know shit." And it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know, I feel like we're not going to get anywhere by not talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Like,
I like to use the platform that we have to talk about things that are actually like relevant and somewhat educational. Not saying that I'm necessarily like worthy of being a teacher, but like I just like people to be aware and to use the platform for something worthwhile, you know, especially during times like this, you know, because we love our gaming. We'll always love our gaming. The gaming's
100%.
Always going to be there.
Gamer first.
Yeah, 100%. But it's also good to talk about stuff like this, I think, definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man, and we're certainly not going to fix the problem here, but maybe we can wake people up in our small way. The people that do listen to us, for whatever reason they decide to listen to us, and I'm not here to. I don't want to sit here and preach to a bunch of people, but that's how I feel about the situation, and as with you as well, and
yeah.
We can't just fucking sit around and do nothing forever. We've got to move on. The hard part is, we're humans, and humans, we've evolved from fucking apes, and over hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years, we've evolved and adapted and survived, and with that, comes certain survival instincts, and one of those is humans are fucking tribalistic as shit.
Yeah.
They're super fucking tribal.
Yeah.
People are tribal to their fucking religions. People are tribal to their fucking countries, to their towns, to their cities, to their clubs they're in, to their fucking races. And that's why people are the way they are. That's why people fucking fly planes into buildings for their god.
Yeah.
That's why people go to war for their country. That's why people get killed for the color of their skin. Because humans are fucking tribal.
Because we're hardwired to recognize differences.
Yeah, exactly. We've evolved in this way, and it's going to take a long time to overcome that. We've come a long way very quick. I think we're not doing as bad as we think we are. We've come a long fucking way in a very short amount of time, in retrospect to how long fucking humans have been around for, which is actually quite a long time, but the amount of time, in the short space of time we've changed and connected from being, I lived in a fucking little village with 100 people in it, and I've never met anyone else, and I lived till I was 50, and I never met anyone else outside of the 100 people.
Yeah.
To now where we're connected to all 7 billion people in the world. And we understand that there is that many people in the world, and we understand that there's that many belief systems, there's that many races and countries and laws and rules and peoples and ideas and beliefs and religions and shit, and that's a big jump. It takes a long time. It's going to take a long time to evolve mentally for humans to understand and think in a new way. We're literally dealing with millions of years of evolution to think this way. There's a reason when you see, like, plenty of fucking people out there are vegans or vegetarians. They saw a cow get killed on a video and they're like, that's disgusting. I can't do that. Whereas someone like me, I don't give a fuck about a cow. I just don't. I've seen the videos. I don't sit there and go, oh shit. But if you showed me a video of a fucking human getting killed, I feel fucking sick.
Yeah.
That's evolution, man. That's your fucking wiring your brain when you see that shit. It's like, why am I more empathetic to a human than I am to another animal?
I think a lot of the time because we see ourselves as a bit more superior, don't we?
But we also I don't think it's because you can't see yourself in that cow, whereas you can see yourself in that other person. People put themselves in other people. It's part of the reason people do you know what's fucked up? I'll tell you something's fucked up, and I'll be honest here because I'm not fucking perfect. I've watched all these videos, right, of the riots and all these people getting hurt, and it made me mad, right? Like, it made me real mad seeing protesters getting hurt. But when I saw two reporters, a cameraman and a reporter, get hit by the American police, they were Australian reporters.
Oh.
I wanted to kill that cop.
Because you identify with them, it's like
because dude, like, everyone that listens to me knows how much I love my fucking country. Everyone fucking knows how much I love my country. You hit a fucking Australian, I'll fucking kill you. Like, that's how I see it. Like,
yeah.
I saw all these Americans getting hurt. I saw an old guy get fucking pushed over. It made me fucking sick. But I was the most angry when I watched an Australian cameraman that was trying to film a protest and a cop fucking beating him. When I saw that, I was like, I want to fucking kill that guy. And that's fucked up to say, you know what I mean? Like, that I'm that, like, that different. But that's how I'm wired, man. I don't care what color your skin is, I don't care what your religion is, but if you're Australian, I'm going to be way more connected and upset that you got hurt than anyone else in the world.
Well,
if you're Australian or a Kiwi,
that's me.
That's how I feel. Yeah, exactly. But I'm also very, and that's what I say to people all the time, is like, Australia's my religion. Like, I don't believe in God, but I believe in my country. Yeah. And like, it's just who I am. It's just how I feel, and rightly or wrongly, like I understand. It's like I could have been born anywhere, but I feel the same about anywhere else. Maybe not. I don't know. But I just who I am, and when it doesn't bother me what color your skin is, gay, straight, man, woman, but if you're Australian, you mean more to me than if you're not. That's just how I feel. Like anyone can be Australian to me.
Patriotism goes a long way, I think, and I think it's a thing that people don't really have a lot these days. I mean, I don't certainly feel patriotic about my country at all.
Yeah, right.
So it's good to see.
And I feel the same way. Like my father's was born in New Zealand. Like he's in the Australian Army. He considers himself Australian, but he also considers himself a New Zealander, right?
Yeah.
I'm a New Zealand citizen by heritage, and I love New Zealand. And I grew up around. First of all, it's an amazing and beautiful country full of amazing people, and I grew up surrounded by Kiwis. They're our neighbour, they're our sister nation. It's not like Canada or America, where it's this weird sort of like, yeah, they're friends, but it's a bit of a weird dynamic.
I don't think Canadians like Americans.
I feel like Americans and Canadians are like they're awkward neighbours. It's like on a street, they're neighbours. Whereas Australia and New Zealand, it's like big brother, little brother.
They're mates, yeah.
It's more like we're literally brothers. Like our armies go to war with each other. We have connected. Like militaries are completely connected in so many ways. Like the Anzac Day is our biggest Memorial Day, and that's the Australia New Zealand Army Corps, and that's because we fight together and we fought together in all major conflicts.
I think that's good though, because you come together as nations, which we need to see more of, like all across the world. Yeah,
well, we're so close. We're obviously next to each other, and we're both part of the Commonwealth. And New Zealand was going to be a part of Australia originally when it was federated as a nation from colonies. New Zealand was a part of that, and Western Australia was going to be its own country, and then we connected Western Australia and New Zealand federated as its own country. And we're connected in so many ways, and we have a different dynamic than any other nations that are out there because of one, how closely connected we are, but also there is a sibling rivalry there as well. Like we play sport against each other, it's the biggest fucking rivalry you'll have. Like we fucking, when it comes to sport, we fucking hate each other. But me, it's different. Like other Australians might be like, no, fuck, the All Blacks against any team. They'll always root against the All Blacks because they're the enemy. They're the little brother.
Yeah.
And I'd say New Zealanders hate Australians more than Australians hate New Zealanders just because it's that little brother syndrome.
Australians don't care.
Australians are like, yeah, fucking Kiwis. Whereas to me, like I'm half Kiwi. I'll root for the All Blacks. I'll root for New Zealand in every sport unless they're playing or versing Australia.
Yeah.
So like UFC, for example, I'll give you an analogy. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker. For the middleweight championship of the world in a stadium in Melbourne. It was the biggest, in our region, the biggest martial arts event of all time in front of 60,000 people. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker last year for the middleweight title in the UFC. And Robert Whittaker is the first ever Australian UFC champion. Israel Adesanya won the interim belt. He's the first New Zealand UFC champion. They fought each other to unify the belts. Now, I was rooting, obviously, for Robert Whittaker because he's Australian, and Izzy won. The New Zealander won. Good for him. Now, Izzy fights everyone else, I'm always going to root for Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
But if he fights Rob, I'm like, oh, sorry, Izzy, I'm rooting for Rob, but I love Izzy. I fucking love him. If he fights anyone else, I'm totally for him. That's how I feel. Like, it's a totally different dynamic. I don't even know how we got onto this topic. Oh, we're talking about patriotism, right? But
yeah. It's the UFC section, that's what it is.
It's a UFC section, sorry about that. That's an old bit. I'm so fucking sweaty right now. My room is so warm.
Oh, same here. I woke up today and it was horrible. It was literally horrible. I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie right now.
It's winter here, but it's
it's winter in Australia.
I mean, I'm just gonna turn my aircon on for a little bit.
I wish I had aircon.
Yeah, we have aircon every room in the house. No big deal. Don't worry about it. I only really need it during podcasts because it's like, you get intense into the fuck conversations and shit.
You have like all your stuff on as well, like your PC and like just everything around you.
The doors closed, the room gets warm. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, George. I feel like we've solved all the world's problems here.
Yes.
in this
That's what
conversation.
we have as well. Yeah. Come close at least.
Now, we probably should get onto some gaming. People are probably like, what the fuck? They're 45 minutes in and they haven't even talked about gaming.
Yeah, where's the gaming, man? Where's the gaming? Now let's get some gaming.
I didn't expect it to go this way. Okay.
It can go any way we want it to.
Yeah, I know. Well, the PlayStation 5 event, reveal event, happened this past Friday. Dude, did you watch the whole thing, and how do you feel about it overall?
I watched none of it, but I did go back the next day and I watched trailers for games that I was interested in.
Yeah.
And it is... I feel like we got to talk about the elephant in the room, Horizon Forbidden West.
Dude. You want to talk about being all set? I'm all fucking set.
I'm so excited, man. Like, I can't even contain myself.
Oh, dude.
It was surreal when I saw that. I was like, wait, for real? Horizon? Like,
I was hoping and almost partly expecting it. I was like, I truly believe they'll show Horizon here. And it was funny because on the live section I watched I woke up, because the event started at 6 o'clock in the morning for me. And I woke up at 6, not for the event, I had to go to work. Yeah. And I got ready. I turned my phone on it and opened James's stream of it. Right as I was literally unlocking my door to leave and get my car. And as I turned it on, this trailer starts, and it happened to be the Forbidden West trailer. And I was like, holy fuck. What a time to turn it on.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm just ecstatic because I've been waiting to do fucking Horizon content for years. Like, I did videos when Horizon Zero Dawn came out. I did videos. I did a review. I went back and did some walkthrough stuff. I've done videos since. Like, I spent time doing lots of Horizon content, but it was like post the game.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like this is where I can finally get involved in the Horizon community. And I did a trailer analysis video, but I'm going to do as much Horizon Forbidden West content as I do Assassin's Creed Valhalla content. Like, that's if not more so. I actually want to do like news videos for Horizon Forbidden West, whereas like Valhalla, I'm just going to do like my truth videos and what like people would expect from me with Assassin's Creed, which isn't really news stuff anymore. But you know how
we moved away from that world of content.
Yeah, because I don't care about reading like what areas and regions are going to be located where and fucking like how big the maps are. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll just react to a trailer and talk about real life history and spend a lot of money buying these fucking books and sinking hours into research for some reason. Fuck. I didn't get a lot.
I mean, yeah, but I think the series of videos you're planning to make sounds really interesting though.
Yeah. No, dude.
Like educational.
I'm enjoying reading the books. It's interesting to learn.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah, I can imagine like history like that, especially something as deep as like the Vikings around that period of time. It's like, it is just another world. I mean, I really hope like Assassin's Creed Origins did a really good thing where it had little bits of nice educational like history and like little enclosed stories around like the open world that would teach you about like sort of life in ancient Egypt or religion or politics or whatever. I really hope there's little nuances like that in Valhalla. If there's not, it'll be disappointing because I enjoyed stuff like that in Origins, just to learn about the time period. Yeah.
It's funny because with what I've started with in my reading for the Valhalla stuff is this like Nordic sacred texts and religious texts, and I'm someone that's very interested in religious studies, always have been. I've read the Bible a couple of times. I've read the Quran and the Hadiths and shit, and studied Buddhism. And obviously, if I've read the Bible, I've also read the Old Testament, read the Torah. If not, I've probably spent more time reading the Old Testament than any other sacred text. But I never dived into Nordic religion before. Like, you hear the stories, Odin and Thor and shit, but I'd never really understood it. So reading through, I finished the Poetic Edda, which is poems and stories of written 1,000 years ago. And the poems are like stories of Odin, interacting with humans, and Odin's obsessed with learning about his fate in Ragnarok, and there's poems about how it's so interesting to read it because it's like, it's so much like every other religious texts. Like, so many religious texts are so similar in terms of what they're trying to do, right? Like, they're trying to teach life lessons and have meanings behind them. Like, you read Genesis in the Bible or the Torah, and what is this? A bunch of fucking children's stories teaching you how to live your life, you know? Like, don't murder people.
Think
bad things
mythology
happen.
It's a lot more interesting than, like, more modern, like, religions, like Egyptian mythology and, like, Greek mythology and Norse mythology especially. They're just, I think the format of, like, telling these stories with these, like, characters that personify certain emotions or, like, parts of life is way more interesting than just man says you gotta be good and then sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
I've always found mythology just so fascinating because it's like creative. It shows human creativity. Like, not saying that I necessarily believe that the Norse gods did exist and came down and were chatting to people, but like it shows the human imagination and how they can personify certain things and have an actual, like, moral sort of, what's the word?
Moral
like
value, moral meaning.
Yeah. Like a meaning to the stories, like a lesson that people can glean from them. Way more interesting than just the Bible stories, I think.
What's interests me a lot actually is, you know, my favorite books and also my favorite movies are the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit. You know, like my favorite movies trilogy is the Lord of the Rings. Movies are the Lord of the Rings. And my favourite book is The Hobbit, and I love J.R.R. Tolkien, obviously, and the Silmarillion and the Lord of the Rings novels and everything. Like, he's amazing. And what I've learnt reading these Norse texts is Tolkien got so much inspiration from Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So much. Like, literally, the dwarves' names in The Hobbit, most of them come from dwarvish names in these poems.
A lot of fantasy came from Norse mythology, which
like,
is why it's probably
I didn't
the best.
realize. Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't realize how much. Like, I knew stuff came from it, but I didn't realize how much of, like, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and even the, like, you read the Silmarillion, you learn about Middle Earth and how the dwarves came to be. Dwarves came from fucking from stone in the center of a mountain. That's where dwarves were born in Middle Earth, and it's like the similar origins in Norse mythologies, like, you know, the dwarves come from the center of the earth and all these different things, and these other creatures and fucking elves, and it's fucking crazy. It's weird. I didn't realize how much of that was interconnected, names being used and things like that. Less so, I feel like, in the Lord of the Rings, whereas, like, the Hobbit was those early days and stories that he used a bit more direct names and things like that. But that was really interesting to learn about as someone that's such a big fan of Tolkien. To read this stuff.
I mean, Norse mythology is badass. It
really is. It really is badass, for sure. But I'm actually really excited to read some of the more modern books. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicles. Actually, that's not a modern book at all, but it's been translated. So there's some edited notes and things like that. That's an old book. But just a bit more traditionally structured books is what I should say. Whereas, like, reading these poems and stories is fun, but it gets like, I'm like, can I just read, like, an information book now? Because I've got to obviously translate these books myself, in the sense of I've got to find meaning from them. Yeah. Whereas, like, you read a history book, it's going to tell you this happened, this happened, this happened, this is why it happened, this is how it affects this. Whereas, like, I'm reading a poem about Odin talking to a witch. I'm like, okay, what is this trying to tell me? Like, what's this trying to teach me?
Yeah, it's like you can't take that for face value, like it actually happened.
Yeah. You know, Odin disguising himself as, like, an old human man and then going to talk to a giant and learn about his future. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bit much. Thor fighting a giant wolf and shit. Like, it's fucking, like, what's happening?
It's so cool though. Like, I mean, wasn't Thor in Norse mythology? He's actually a bit of a dickhead. Like,
he's a bit of a cocksucker. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because he just sort of like, oh, I'm the most powerful lad. I can fucking smash you whoever I want. Yeah,
no, he didn't. He was a bit of an asshole. He didn't get fat and you know, drink lots of beers with a rock and play Fortnite. Actually, he was just
fat Thor.
I know how much you hate fat Thor.
Fucking hate.
I love Fat Thor so much.
I could never vibe with him, man.
I love all Thors. Like, the thing with me is, like, I love fat Thor, I love non-fat Thor, I love all Thors. It's all
Thors. Good. All Thors matter.
Yeah, all Thors matter. I don't think that's... I don't approve of that, what you're trying to do there, but I'll just... It's a joke, guys, it's a joke, don't worry about it.
It is a joke, don't worry. It's about
Don't
Thor the fucking god, like from Marvel.
No, yeah, Thor the God from Marvel. He didn't come anywhere before that.
Yeah, it was just Marvel. Stan Lee just invented him, like.
Yeah. Holy shit. Anyway, back to Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes.
Let's not talk about fucking Valhalla anymore. Horizon Forbidden West, I did a trailer analysis for it, so I'm interested. People probably know a bit of what I think about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your breakdown of what, when you saw that trailer. What were you thinking? What are you excited about? What stands out to you?
It looks like the perfect sequel. Like, usually when a game has a bit of a hiatus and comes back, it's almost like the art style changes a bit, usually for the worst. Like, some games just like to change their art style especially when going into a next generation, when they have the stronger hardware that can handle sort of stuff like that. But going back, like watching that trailer, it just looks like Horizon Zero Dawn.
100%, yes, yeah.
But just
great point. I didn't even think about that.
More beautiful. Yeah, they've done a superb job.
So familiar. It just looks like Horizon Zero Dawn, but way better, way more detailed. But it's the same.
Like the robots as well. Like the art style of the robots. Like obviously they've got the elephant or whatever, and the pterodactyl looking thing, and the big turtle, and like they look like they could have been in the first game.
Yeah,
they've done such a good job of implementing them.
For sure. And I haven't replayed Horizon in a while, so there were some of them like, I mean, they could have been the first game to the point of like, wait, is that a new one or is that an old one? Like, I couldn't even tell. And
I think that's what they should strive for, because if something then feels out of place, like I assume they're going to be bringing back the old ones, like Watchers and like the horse. I forgot their name. It's been a while since I've played it, but I assume they're going to bring that back and add the new ones to it. So it's good to see that the new ones don't stand out. They're not jarring.
Yeah, 100%. I said this because I rewatched. I didn't do a review. But in like 2018, I made this video of like why Horizon Zero Dawn is so special. Yeah. And it was like a non-spoiler review love letter to the game. Yeah. And I tweeted it out because I rewatched it myself to kind of give myself a reminder of like why did I love Horizon so much. And the thing that stood out to me that I said was the main themes that I love about the game is the sense of mystery and discovery. That's what Horizon Zero Dawn did so fucking well. And what I was worried about is that it's hard to replicate mystery and discovery because you learnt so much in Horizon Zero Dawn about the world. It's like, this is totally new IP, totally new world. You don't why is this tribal woman fighting robot dinosaurs? That's all I thought every time I saw a trailer. Like, what's happening? And then you play the game, you're like, holy fuck, you learn everything about this world. And also, Aloy doesn't know who she is as a person. That's a whole part of the story, is this discovery of mystery and discovery of the world, mystery and discovery of Aloy the character. Like, you've gone through all that. How do you replicate that in a sequel? And that's the hard part. It's the part I'm most worried about, right? Is can you do that again? Or at least not do it again, but can you continue that as a major theme and do it in a new way that still is exciting? Because you can't obviously continue with who is Ayla. We know who she is. We know who that character is. We've learned a lot about this character. She's got to grow and obviously be her own person. I think that would be a good way to go with this story. But that was a part of obviously the first game as well. Yeah. But continuing to develop that going forward. But again, that's not really a mystery. That's just more of a continuation of who we know. Yeah. But what the trailer showed to me was the whole trailer was literally her traveling this forbidden world area. So I'm like, you're literally. Man. Your themes of mystery and discovery were the main themes of this trailer too. Yeah. Like, all she was doing was traveling around a mysterious forbidden west and finding out stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, that's why Horizon's so good, because you want to travel around these strange fucking places in this post-apocalyptic world and uncover mysteries. That's what's so cool about it. But you're also fighting fucking these giant fucking robot animals and fighting some old technology that's been left behind with a bow and arrow. Like, it's fucking wild. Why does it work? I don't know, but it really just does. Did you feel that way when you watched that trailer? Like, did you get that sense of discovery and mystery? I
did, yeah, especially with like the underwater section and the bit where she's riding and you see the massive, like, I forgot what it's called. What's it called again? Like the ones with all the arms. No, the fucking the robots with all the
oh, right,
arms.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot what they're called, but yeah, because that's still a mystery. We don't know what they look like when they're in action. We don't know how much havoc they can like wreak. Like, totally true. They're scary. And we don't know enough about Silence either as a character. Like, who is he? Like, what's his motives? Why does he want... what was the end of Hades? Why did he want to work with Hades? Like, there's so much stuff that we still haven't uncovered about individual characters. And I think Aloy knowing who she is, it means she's going to be a lot stronger. And I can't wait to see the performance. Because I forgot who plays Aloy, but she was obviously great in the first game. And I can't wait to see, like... what makes her tick in the second game, you know, because obviously she's going to be a lot more stern, a lot more sure of herself this time around. Yeah, for sure. It's, oh man, I love Aloy. I fucking love Aloy. I'm so glad that this is what they're sticking with. You know, they know what they're doing. They know the story they want to tell, and they're not, you know, jumping around characters and places in this world. They're like, no, we started a story and we're just gonna keep this going. We've got something here. This is how you make a sequel. This is how you make a fucking sequel, man. Yeah. So excited. And the whole region, you know, going to the west coast of America. Yeah. It's a great idea. It looks great. The world looks beautiful. Like PS5, holy shit, does this stuff look good, man? It's unreal. Like, just stupid. Because when you're watching the live stream, obviously it's in 1080p, right? Because it's streaming. But when I went back and watched the trailer in 4K, it's like, holy shit, jaw-dropping stuff. Jaw-dropping stuff. Like, the PS5, it's something else. Like, especially the bit where she's walking along the desert section. Like, that looked so good. I'm thinking back to... Oh, yeah, because when you go to the desert section, it also has that shot where she's climbing the mountain. Yeah. And when she, like, hangs off, I'm like, holy shit. Like, they're showing all these different environments, all these different regions that you know, we're going to see. This map must be fucking massive. Like, holy shit. I hope it's not too big, though. Yeah. I mean, I don't expect it to be. It's not going to be fucking Odyssey. It's not going to be a fucking abysmal embarrassment. But, you know, I felt like Horizon Zero Dawn was big. Like, that was a big map. Yeah. It was big, I think, in the way that to get to a different area of the map, there was one way you could go. Like, you couldn't go around a mountain. You had to go through a certain valley or passage to get there. So it felt bigger because you had to travel. The great point, and that's partly why that discovery was there when you're traveling around, because you really had to kind of walk through, you know, especially early on when you don't have control of the machines, you're fucking, like, wandering on foot, like, through these valleys to get to this next area, and it's like you're looking around at this world, you're like, holy shit, this looks fucking crazy. Like, this whole place looks amazing. And then you also don't know, because there's all these different tribes in each region. Like, I wonder what you start to realize, oh, like, I wonder what they live like what's their politics, what's their architecture look like how advanced are they? So we're going to go in and we're not going to know. Like, we saw one sort of tribal group at the end of this, and they have control of these fucking war elephant mammoth things, and they don't look like fucking friendlies. So, you know, and it's called the Forbidden West, like, for a reason, as a part of the story. Like, obviously people don't fucking go here. Is it because of the machines, or is it because of this fucking tribe? Who knows? Yeah, like, there ain't no sacred lands here. You know, shit. It's all gonna be like just some dirty land filled with bandits, and like, do you reckon we'll see like more stuff about the Osseram? That was one tribe that I thought was really interesting, like civilization, the Osseram, with like their armor. Was that the one in what's the DLC called? What the fuck was the expansion called? Frozen Wilds. Frozen Wilds. Was that the Frozen Wilds one? I don't think so. The Osseram is the the ones that were like brutish with like the yeah. Sorry, like the brown armor with the big metal in it. Once I build my PC, I'm gonna stream Horizon Zero Dawn, because I've only played it through the one time,
and platinumed it and played the DLC and stuff. But like, I really need to refresh my memory of like all the real like intricate details of things, like all the names of all the tribes and the smaller characters, the real specific moments. Especially, I want to go back as I play through again. I'm going to spend time like reading through all the like information logs and shit that you pick up and that you go through, because I really need to.
Oh yeah.
I want to get balls deep into this, so I'm going to use this
those are
playthrough
really
and stream
interesting
to really delve into that stuff and learn more about this world, so I can know what I'm talking about. Because at the moment, especially I was doing that video, I was scared. I was like, look, I know Horizon Zero Dawn very well, but also I forget a lot of the intricate details that I might need to know to be a source of information for for this game. So I need to replay it for sure.
I need to replay it as well. I think I've played it like 3 or 4 times.
Shit, man.
Yeah, we did it on Horsey and Fox.
So you love Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah? Like
I love it.
Yeah, it's in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's one of the best PS4 exclusives out there, and it took us completely by surprise. Like, before I played it, I didn't watch any trailers or anything. I got it on a couple of days after it came out, and I instantly fell in love with it because I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is this game? Everyone's going crazy about it. Colin Moriarty's talking about it and like saying it's like up there with some of the best PS4 exclusives. When
he said that, I knew I had to get it. I was like, holy shit, this sounds amazing. I couldn't believe how much, like, because I was already considering it just for like, Sony can just keep nailing their games. Like, this looks interesting, maybe it'll be good. And then you hear Colin rave about it, and the way he reviewed it, I was like, I have to play this right now. And one of my favorite experiences, that and God of War, my 2 favorite experiences, I'd say. Like, I think, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a better game than Horizon Zero Dawn. But like, I expected Red Dead Redemption 2 to be what Red Dead Redemption 2 was. You know what I mean? I expected it to be the one of the best games of all time. Whereas God of War, I'd never played God of War, it fucking just completely blew me away. It's that to me is the best game I've ever played. But Horizon Zero Dawn came out the year before, and I'm playing it, and it just blew me away because I had no expectations for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I had no expectations for it. I'd seen some trailers, and then I'm playing it, and every second you're just blown away by the world. I was blown away by the character of Aloy and her story. I wanted to be like, what? Like, I was so enthralled with the mystery of it all.
It was just the most intriguing premise ever.
I'd say the most intriguing game I played since Halo 1.
Yeah, like with that sense of mystery and like uncovering like a lost civilization, like. Well, I mean, it gave me that feeling of wonder that I got when I used to play like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and have the story sections where Desmond's running about in all like the old, like. It was like Brotherhood when you're in the Colosseum and you're like finding out all this stuff.
Right, and your heart's literally racing. Good. You're like, what the fuck is about to happen? I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm so fucking intrigued.
Yeah, right, it's like, how is this story going to go further down the rabbit hole than it already is?
Yeah.
And there's going to be more of that in the next one, and I can't be more excited for it.
Yeah, I really fucking hope so. It looks great. Guerrilla are an amazing company, so.
They really are, and they came out of left field with Horizon Zero Dawn, considering before that they'd only developed Killzone, which was like the shit version of Halo on PS4 or like PlayStation. And they just came out of nowhere and released Horizon Zero Dawn, one of the best narrative pieces of like the last 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, there's so many things I could rave about with the narrative for it, like because there's layers. It's not just the mystery of what happened to the world here. Like, you literally have no idea, like, what. It's not a post-apocalyptic world. I hate post-apocalyptic stuff most of the time, because most of the time it's like fucking a nuclear war or zombies. You got these two things, and they both suck. They're both fucking boring, and they suck.
They are now. They're overdone.
This is a post-apocalyptic world where robot dinosaurs killed everyone. That's fucking wild. What a fucking wild concept. Like, robot dinosaurs killed everyone that humans built. I'm like, wow. And it's because the same theme as nuclear war, like human technology, we push too far and it ends up destroying us. Like, except we're dealing with that 1,000 years later, and we built a bunch of robots that killed us, and they're robot animals and shit. And there's different, things they plan to. Obviously, you have, Gaia and all this, and Hades, all these things
Gaia
they put in place
blew my mind.
to rebuild the world. afterwards and things like that, or like to safeguard things within the world.
Yeah.
And then you've got these humans that were, in charge of all this stuff, and you're learning about them and what like you're literally like, what happened to this world? But also, who the fuck is Aloy? Why is why is she special? Why was she cast?
Why does she look like Elizabeth Sobek, whoever the fuck that is? What's going on there? Like,
there's
so crazy.
There was so many questions and layers to the mystery of the character you're playing, how she fits within the world that exists now, but who are learning about these different tribes. There's all these different social, economic, political things going on within the different tribes that exist now, between tribes, the wars going on, the different groups, how Aloy navigates them all and manages to fit in with everyone because she just understands people so well. There's so many underlying narrative threads and world building things that it lets you and it does in the way it's it doesn't force you to learn about everything. It lets you discover it, and you can really discover as much or as little as you want to when you play through Horizon Zero Dawn. You can learn everything about all these different... There's so much history to all these different groups and tribes, like the Nora and stuff. But you don't have to really dive into that much. Or you could. It's up to you how much you want to discover and learn about.
Exactly. It gives you that option as the player to engage with that, or you can just run straight past it if you want. Go kill some robots. Go
to a cauldron and learn about how these fucking machines are built. The cauldrons are fucking sick. And I remember playing it, I'm like, hey, look, the cauldrons are great right now, but this concept you could do so much more with in future games. I want to see cauldrons get... even the DLC Frozen Wilds expand, they had cauldrons already, even bigger versions than the original game had. Yeah. So you can see where they're wanting to go with it. And you're watching these machines get built and holy fuck, these things are still getting built now without humans. They're just fucking going, holy fuck.
They're still being made, they're still massacring people. I think... Oh shit, I had a point that I was going to make. Okay, remember the Gaia Prime mission, where you go to Gaia Prime...
Yes.
And you learn all the shit about Gaia.
Yeah.
And you sort of uncover that mystery. I think that, whenever I think of Horizon and the storytelling, I always think of that section, because it's an hour straight of just story and exploring this these metal ruins, and there's holograms everywhere and tablets you can pick up, and there's people talking about the process and how they built Gaia from the ground up, and the whole Horizon, the whole Zero Dawn project. That is that's perfect. We need more of that in the next game. If they can pull the similar shit to that off, where I'm sitting there for an hour, it doesn't even feel like an hour, it goes by like that because of all the story they've packed in there. If they can do that again, I'll be happy. Yeah, because that was what I played the game for. It was so fascinating.
But that's it's in the name. The game franchise, we weren't sure. Is it called Horizon Zero Dawn, or is it called Horizon and then Zero Dawn's the subtitle? We knew Zero Dawn was the subtitle, but will it be the sequel? Be Horizon Zero Dawn 2? No, it's Horizon Forbidden West. So it's in the name, Horizon. What does that mean? Well, it's about literally explore. It's about exploring. It's about finding new things and understanding new things and learning. So to continue this franchise, the main point of it is to give us stories that are about discovery.
Exactly.
So and exploring and learning. So and those are things that draw you into the first game, and it's connected through great characters, great mission structures, combat's fun, and there's so much to the gameplay. And we don't even talk about that when we're talking about this. We're talking about just the story and the themes.
Yeah.
And there's all those things it does so well that it's going to improve on. But what it's got to continue to do throughout every game, if you're going to call it Horizon, is continue to give us mystery, continues to give us exploration and discovery and learning constantly about this world. And when you no longer have a franchise, and hopefully you stop and you leave us with great games to look back on and not kill your franchise by overdoing it. So
yeah, I feel like they'll handle Horizon well for the time it's alive, and they'll end it at the right time, and we'll look back on it fondly as that was a fantastic series of games.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, man.
I'm very confident in Guerrilla's ability and the passion that they clearly have for it.
Yeah. What did you think of the PS5 hardware itself?
I haven't looked at necessarily the specs of it, because at the end of the day, it's gonna play games at 60 FPS at a nice resolution, so I'm not bothered about it. I think the PlayStation 5 looks really funny. We're gonna look back on this in like 10-15 years time and be like, well, that console looks kind of tacky, but like, it doesn't bother me as long as it plays games, as long as I can get my exclusives that I'm buying the console for. I do not care. And I've warmed up to the controller as well. I thought the controller was looking weird at first, but to be honest, it's a fucking controller. Like, it's gonna work. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I love the trailers they did were very cool, and it gave you a real sense and feel for how it's gonna, like, even especially that controller trailer. Like, it's like 30 seconds, but like you get that sense of how that's gonna feel in your hands, and and how
it'll
it's
probably
gonna play.
Really light. Like, I can imagine it'll be really light, which is it's what you want from a controller. The other accessories, they look a bit weird though.
Yeah, a bit weird, eh? I'm glad there's an actual controller, remote controller.
Oh yeah. So what's that used for? I'm quite.
Well, I imagine it's just to, like, if you're not playing games or whatever, like, you could be just using it for fucking Netflix or YouTube, I imagine, right?
That's true. But I guess so instead of like navigating with the controller, it'd be with
just turn on because it'll be, let's say it's in your living room and it's connected to your TV, you just want to pick up the remote.
Yeah.
Rather than you've left your controller on the charging port, and you've got the remote. Yeah, it's just for lazy people like me and you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so lazy, so I might have to fucking buy that.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Disc drive, no disc drive. Where are you at?
I don't buy physical games anymore, so I'll probably get one without. Just cause,
and I feel like it'll be $100 cheaper. I feel like that's why they have both. They want to have one that's like, look, this console's fucking expensive, and we want to reduce as much as we can to beat Xbox, but we literally can't reduce anymore. It's got to be fucking like $700, $800. But how about we take out the disc drive and we'll give you a cheaper version, so at least we can say, for as little as $5.99, you can have a fucking PlayStation 5.
I think it's good they've given you the option though, because again, like, there are some people. I would happily knock off £100, like, for buying like a new console, because I don't buy physical discs. I buy digital copies.
I don't buy physical discs anymore, but I have physical discs for Xbox One and PS4, and I'm like, what if I want to replay them because this is backwards compatible, right? Like, should I just get the disc drive for that sake? It's like, should I get it for that sake, or will I just rebuy them for cheap on digital versions? I don't know. How big's the hard drive?
You've raised a good point there.
That's what I'm saying. It's more for replayability, and I mean, hashtag I'm rich as shit. So I could buy it. So do you know what I mean? Like, why do I need a settle, man? Like, why do I need a settle?
I mean, my Horizon Zero Dawn copy and my Kingdom Hearts 3 copy are both. They're both physical.
Dude, discs, man. Yeah, my Horizon's not physical, but all the Kingdom Hearts collections. Then again, I have Game Pass, and they're now all on Game Pass. But still, like, all my saves. I've got Spider-Man, God of War, Uncharted 4, Uncharted. Oh no, the Nathan Drake collection I've got digital. Detroit Become Human. Yeah, and all the collections of Kingdom Hearts, they're all on disc. I'm like, oh fuck. That's hard.
Honestly, I think PS4 and PlayStation boxes for discs always look nicer than the Xbox ones. I don't know why. Maybe it's the blue, but
blue is better than green. I'll say that. James won't agree, but that's
I think blue is better than green. The Xbox One boxes looked fucking shite. I mean, most of the Xboxes just style is fucking shit. Like the home screen is ugly blocks. I hate it. And have you seen that they're not planning on changing anything about the UI for the dashboard?
Oh god, that's tough. Yeah,
that's silly. It's like they want Sony to do better than them.
They just don't get it. They just don't get it.
They don't know what gamers want, man.
No, they're out of touch. They're completely out of touch, and they're just a step behind, and they're trying to be a step ahead, but they're fucking taking a step to the fucking left or right. They don't get it.
Exactly.
They don't get gamers are simple. Give us good games, and that's it. Give us
give us a good
Sony
Halo.
Haven't fucking changed their UI once for the PlayStation 4.
Xbox has changed it countless times. I can't think of the amount of times they've changed it in the last 7 years.
And I'm fine with you changing it, but be better every time, not get worse.
Yeah, don't just make it more convoluted whenever you fucking update it, because it's just annoying. Not that I really need to like go on my friends list or anything like that, or look at what anyone's doing on their feed, or like what they're recording, but like still, at least like make it like nice to navigate. It feels like a chore on the Xbox One.
So they're saying like literally the UI is going to be exactly the same if you were on a Series X or an Xbox One. It'll look the same on launch. Yep. And their reasoning for it would be what? Like they just want it to all be connected. Like you just spent. Here's my thing. I'll tell you why. They don't understand the consumer that has just spent $600 on a new console. That's a big fucking purchase. Yeah. It's a big purchase. It's a once a year. For like people to spend that much money, obviously it's once in generation. Every like 8 years you're buying a new console. It's a big event for someone that plays any games. My friends that don't play as much games as I do, or that aren't as invested in like gaming culture or like the gaming industry as I am, they'll eventually buy these consoles, and it's a fucking big deal purchase. Like they've got to like fucking convince their girlfriends, can I, you know, and wives and shit. Can I buy this? Can I have money to, you know, to buy this and get out of the budget, you know, that we spend on bills, and to convince them, they'll say fucking yeah, but that's like literally their spending budget for the year on themselves. They want to get it and feel like they've got something fucking awesome and new, not turn it and be like, oh, it looks the exact same as my Xbox One.
So and disappointing.
It's not a big deal in theory, and that's what Microsoft are thinking. Oh, what's the big deal? In theory, no, but you've got to understand put yourselves in the shoes of your audience, of your consumers, of the gamer, what a big deal purchase a console is, how much it means to them, and they want to feel like it is a big deal. They want to feel like when they turn it on for the first time, they're experiencing something new, and it was worth that money, and it was worth a big deal. It was worth dealing with your fucking missus getting pissed at you for weeks after you get the console because you're neglecting her and you're playing fucking games.
Yeah, and you get back from the coal mines and she's fucking giving you an earful.
Yeah, she's giving you a fucking earful, and you've just spent all this money and you're not paying attention to her. And you've fucking got her, you know, complaining. You've spent her money that she would want to spend on fucking shoes and shit. And you turn it on, it looks the fucking same as the console you already own.
You're just like, have I turned on my Series X, or is this the Xbox One? What am I doing?
And the biggest thing is, the games on launch aren't going to be any fucking different. You're going to be able to play Halo Infinite on both Xbox One and Series X. Sure, it'll look better, but at least make me feel like I'm on a fucking new console, you motherfuckers. Come on. Yeah.
To me,
I'm fucking Team Xbox. I'm an Xbox guy. I'm turning into a PlayStation guy because I'm being given no fucking choice. I don't want to be on Team PlayStation. I fucking hate Sony. I want to be an Xbox guy. I've always been an Xbox guy, and they're fucking me. They're fucking me. I have no choice but to be a PlayStation guy. PlayStation have won the best games, but they like... How do you miss changing a new UI, giving us a new update, giving us something fucking new, so when we turn on the Xbox Series X... First of all, you know what? First of all, figure your fucking names out before you even make them turn and buy a fucking console. Series X. Get the fuck out of here.
What is that name? You should have just called it Xbox Scarlet. Like, that's not bad.
Why didn't you call Xbox Infinite? Xbox Infinity, you know what I mean? Like, something fucking sick. Xbox Series X.
Sounds like a fucking...
Xbox Series X.
It sounds like a weird bit of hardware. I don't know what that could even be.
Series X. Like, every generation is a new... Like, Xbox One. What a fucking shit name that was. Xbox One. Your third Xbox is called the Xbox One. No, it isn't, though. Is it, you fucking morons? And then your next one, you're like, let's not... obviously wasn't going to be called Xbox 2 or anything. That's even more retarded. But, like... 360 makes sense. It's like the Avatar. It's a revolution. Full revolution.
It's like all round, you know. It's an all round console.
360, great. Do 720. It's the next revolution. Fucking easy as fuck. You could have called it the 720, or you could have called it fucking, you know, an infinity. I don't know, anything. But holy shit, Xbox One. We're not just a gaming device. We're a one-stop shop, whole entertainment system. You can watch the NBA on. You can watch the NBA on us. You can watch Netflix on us. Like, yeah, we're gonna anyway. But we want to see games. You fuck.
We got the Xbox TV guide.
Are you trying to sell us to your fucking regular Joe right now? No one is. Your fucking regular Joe that watches the NBA and plays COD, he buys COD once a year in Madden. He's not watching E3, you fucking moron. Why are you selling your Xbox to these people at an event they're not watching? Only gamers are watching, and the gamers want to see fucking games.
And he's not going to watch the TV like on the console.
It's just constant being out of fucking touch. And this whole not changing the UI on the Series X is another example of being completely fucking out of touch with your audience. And it pisses me off. I'm fucking sick of it. Because I deal with this, being a fan of the Xbox, being someone that wants Xbox to succeed. Every fucking step, they fuck me. Every step, they fuck me. Like, just when I think, oh, they're focusing on games now, they're figuring it out, they're buying and building new studios and working on new IPs and focusing on original games, fuck yeah. First of all, we haven't seen fuck all of any of that shit they've been talking about. They're just talking about it. It's all, right now, it's all fucking this bullshit talking and not enough action. And then when it comes to their hardware themselves, they still don't know how to sell their fucking hardware. The first thing you do is you come up with a name that's not so fucking shit. That's the first thing you do. And then you fucking sell it. Oh, God. I'm gonna
make some good games for it.
But you're gonna turn on your PS5, and I'm telling you, it's gonna feel like a whole new fucking world.
It will, yeah.
You're gonna put in Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and you're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah, this is sick." On launch, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna turn on your Xbox One Series X. You're gonna be like, "Oh, it's the exact fucking same as my Xbox One that I just turned on yesterday that I was playing, and I'm playing Halo Infinite on it that I could have just played on the Xbox One." I have Game Pass.
That's true.
I literally could. I have it on the Xbox One right now. I don't have to play it on the Series X.
I imagine Halo Infinite will look incredibly impressive on the Series X.
No doubt. No fucking doubt about it, man. But I'm talking about a guy, the regular person that's just spent $600 on the console.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're not gonna.
Is that
they're
worth it?
They're not gonna complain
better?
about no ray tracing. They're not really gonna care.
I'll care how good it looks because I was gonna buy it no matter what. I'm buying both consoles no matter what. I'm buying both consoles. There's literally nothing that can change.
I don't think I'm gonna get the Xbox.
You know, I've got to play Halo Infinite and Fable as well down the road. So I've got to have it.
Oh shit! I think what I'm gonna do is
just wait till
instead of getting an Xbox, I'm gonna spend the money that I would on the console to upgrade my PC, so I can play Halo on PC and Forza Horizon on PC if I want to.
You
and
can do that, yeah. But you're gonna get a PS5.
PC? Yeah, I'm getting a PS5. So it's not even gonna matter. Like, I'm gonna have all the exclusives on that to enjoy. So I literally won't even be thinking about Xbox, really.
Yeah, true.
Which is sad.
It's fucking sad, man. How the fuck they do it?
I did dedicate a lot of my life to Xbox.
Dude, it's just so fucking disappointing.
It is. Like the golden days of the 360, they're long gone.
Dude, playing Fable 2 and Halo 3. Like, I remember playing the
Halo
first
3.
Gears of War, and you're like,
that's the way to bring any man to tears, man. Like, thinking about those old days back when Xbox was like the king.
And you hear Cortana say John for the first time, you're like, I just can't.
Oh.
Like, what the fuck? Like, remember those days? You're like, what the? Who even has a PlayStation 3? Get fucked. Like, I don't have any friends that have PlayStation 3. We all had Xbox 360s. Like,
that was where it was at, you know, like.
And now it's like, what the fuck?
Now it's like, get your PlayStation in, boys. There's literally memes on the internet that's like, if you've got an Xbox, you're just a fucking degenerate, basically. At this point.
Yeah. Oh, it's sad, man. And Halo Infinite will probably be a fucking disappointment because Halo's fucked me too. Halo's fucked me even more than Microsoft have. Holy shit.
I mean, the trailers they did get me screaming like a little girl.
Yeah, I know they did to me too, but let's be real. Fuck you, Halo.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
What is Halo now? What is it now,
mean?
man? Like, what's happened to it?
Halo was my favourite gaming franchise of all time. And then you released Halo 5, that abortion, that fucking dead baby of a game.
Like, Halo 4, like, I gave that a lot of shit when it came out, but to be honest, 343 took on one of the most monumental tasks ever.
Whatever, bro.
To take on Halo, like, that's a big task. And yet, Halo 4 was good. I think the campaign was...
I like Halo 4.
I think it was good. Multiplayer was shit because it was developed by Certain Affinity and they can't develop multiplayer components because they also fucked up Doom 2016's multiplayer. But Halo 5 was where it all fell apart because the multiplayer didn't feel like Halo and the campaign was the furthest away from Halo you can fucking get. It was just, I don't even want to speak.
I liked Halo 5's arena multiplayer, but Warzone was fucking shit as fuck. And yeah, and the campaign was the worst. The worst game I've ever fucking played in my life. I've never been so angry. No, everyone knows that. Everyone knows how mad I get when I'm talking about Halo 5.
It was an abortion of a game.
It truly, the only thing I could describe it as is an abortion. It's a
They were just trying to keep up with like trends at the time instead of staying
and
fundamentally Halo.
Trends of lying in your marketing campaigns, of what the game's going to be about. Having a main character that you've had for 20 years and have him in 3 missions of your 15 missions.
God.
And make us play as this fuckhead for the rest of the game. And the shit team.
Have them fight, and for some reason Chief is like struggling to fight Locke as if he's like not a Spartan 2.
Yeah. and also they're just like, oh, by the way, Blue Team's back. These people from the Reach novel. From Reach novel, this team that you're emotionally invested in if you're a hardcore Halo fan, we're just going to bring him back, not explain that at all in the game. They're just there just so we can have co-op as a big theme and selling point of the game, and have them also be fucking shithouse in the game as well. Holy fuck. Imagine
they're so
Fall
bad.
of Reach, I read that fucking... Oh my god, that's that's one of the oldest fucking, like, back before Halo Reach the game came out. What we knew about Reach is fucking Fall of Reach, this epic fucking story of Master Chief and fucking Blue Team and shit. And then they're just like, oh, by the way, Blue Team's back, we're not going to explain it, and they fucking suck dick. I was like, cool, right,
awful,
yes, sick,
awful.
Just,
I think like the whole point of having a Spartan-centric story that focuses on the characters is to show the humanity of Spartans, and this is something that Reach did incredibly well. And they fucked it. They were just like, that whole thing that Spartans aren't just killing machines, that like philosophical sort of argument, throw it out the window. Let's just depict them as like fucking killing machines, basically. Yeah. That's what they were, essentially, in Halo 5. Like, there was no depth there.
Yeah, 100%. But it's also like, what's so special about Halo is that Master Chief is like Master Chief's supposed to be the last surviving Spartan in Halo 1, you know what I mean? Like, he's the last Spartan. And then now there's all these Spartan like 4s. It's just like, whatever, okay. I get that they want to build more Spartans now that the war's over. Like, that totally makes sense that there'd be a new generation. But everyone knows the way Chief became a Spartan. He's the real only Spartan. Like, he's
the big
superior in
boy.
every way. He's the special one. But now you've brought back Blue Team, and we've got a campaign where we're playing with like fucking 8 Spartans, and it just makes Chief way less special.
It's like Power Rangers.
Oh,
it's like
God.
It's just, and you got Cortana that's like evil, and she's like doing evil things and bringing like shit enemies. Like the thing that pissed me off about fucking Halo 5 was the complete lack of inspiration for boss battles. They just kept bringing the Warden back. Is that what his name was? The Warden?
Yeah, Warden Eternal.
They copy and pasted that boss like 3 or 4 times over the course of the campaign, and it was never fun. It was never a good fight.
Oh my god.
Oh, let's just leave Halo 5.
Yeah, let's just leave it. We got a big launch title for the PlayStation 5 is Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yes.
By Insomniac Games. 2 years after Spider-Man PS4, we get a sequel or a spin-off, but like a standalone brand new Spider-Man game by Insomniac, which is fucking super exciting. I'm playing as Miles Morales. And I keep going to say Miles Morales. Because there's a fucking UFC fighter that name's Marlon Moraes, then you got Miles Morales, and it's fucking me up.
You got the new Spider-Man game with what's his name?
Marlon Moraes.
Marlon Moraes.
The number 1 bantamweight contender in the world, the fucking Brazilian fighter. Oh god.
He's the new protagonist of Spider-Man.
He's the protagonist of Spider-Man. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. It's just fucking ridiculous. God. But I said it in my Horizon video, I was like, Miles Morales, Morales.
Oh god.
It's so annoying. Anyway, what were your thoughts? Have you seen the trailer for the Spider-Man game?
Yeah, I have seen the trailer, and it looks stunning. I thought Spider-Man PS4 looked good, but obviously they're remastering or reworking it for the PS5.
No, dude, it's a standalone game.
Okay, so that's the thing. I knew it was a standalone game, but I thought that possibly they'd bring the old one to PS5 as well.
I'm
but I
sure.
guess not.
I'm sure that. But I feel like everything's backwards compatible. So any PS4
That's
game
true.
you can play anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not really that it's upgraded.
It'd be a bit jarring though, going from the original game's graphics and then loading up Miles Morales, and it's like just infinitely more like vibrant and colourful, and the lighting's amazing.
But that's because it's almost like you're fucking playing a game that's new and made after it, which is what it is.
That's true. To be fair, I guess it was such a weird like marketing thing, because everyone was like, "Is it a DLC or an expansion, or is it a game?"
I thought it was its own game
out
straight away until it was brought up that it wasn't. I'm like, wait, that's really fucking weird that you wouldn't explain that. And then like, no, it is standalone. I'm like, now I'm confused.
I feel like this might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I feel like they might have jumped the gun in terms of making Miles Morales his own character and having his own story. I feel like there was way more stuff with Peter we could have done. Maybe they will do stuff with Peter, but I want to see Miles's transformation into Spider-Man. Not just we start the game up and Miles is all of a sudden Spider-Man and Peter's like, yeah, see you later, I'm going to go shag fucking MJ. Like, we need some development.
But that's one of the Spider-Man deals. I didn't play any of the Spider-Man DLCs.
No, I didn't either.
One of them literally goes through all this transformation stuff, and James hated it. He's like, why are they fucking doing this in this DLC? Explains why, because they were like, we need to develop this Spider-Man launch title. And it's a good move, because like, let's make a launch title. We don't have enough time to make a full, let's say, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man 2, but let's do an Uncharted Lost Legacy. You know what I mean? Like that. It's its own game, and it's a big game, and Uncharted Lost Legacy is fucking amazing standalone game. Oh, it's so amazing. Incredible, and I have no doubt if you look at, I think being compared to Lost Legacy is not a fucking negative to me.
No, not at all.
So Miles Morales game. Being sure, maybe it's not fucking 15 hours, maybe it's a 10-hour campaign with I'm sure just as much fucking side content with new graphics and gameplay and things that you will expect, like you'll get for this next game they do. But they've already built the engine, right? They already have this engine in place from Spider-Man, and you've just got to continue that on the PlayStation 5 sort of graphics and engines, and create. You're creating this different character with Miles, different gameplay, different combat, and the way he would move and how he would act. And I'm sure they could. I think this game will be just as long and as big as Spider-Man PS4, because not like Spider-Man PS4 is that long. It's 15 hours to do almost everything.
It's really short.
I platinumed it in 20 hours. I'm sure in 2 years they're gonna make a fully fledged 15-hour to 20-hour to platinum game. I have no doubt this will be as big as Spider-Man PS4, which is not that big anyway.
Yeah. Do you reckon there'll be any new areas we can explore? Like, if the city...
that's the question, isn't it? Like, New York City. Like, what... That's where Spider-Man lives. Like, once you've had all of New York, like, where do you go? I mean, you had all of Manhattan in Spider-Man PS4. Obviously, I think you got Brooklyn and Queens that you could add in. So there's a lot more areas. New Jersey, I guess, but I guess there's plenty of areas you can add down the road and expand. But Manhattan's got to be there, right? Like, you can't have a Spider-Man game and not have Manhattan there. You just go, but add Queens, add Brooklyn.
Yeah, add some different areas. I want this game to feel like different, because it's from Miles' perspective. Obviously, it's not from Peter's. I want it to feel like it's Miles' own perspective of New York and his own perspective of Spider-Man and what Spider-Man needs to be and stuff like that. Because I don't want it to just be like villain bad, kill villain, city saved. I want there to be some deeper themes in there, because Miles is an incredibly unique character, and you have to. I'm loving all the Miles love recently as well, with like, Into the Spider-Verse and this game and stuff like that, and I think there's so much more we can do with his character, and they need to delve into his own personal struggles. Oh god, I mean, they'll ruin it.
No, they won't. Fuck off.
Oh god, the MCU. Forgot that existed.
How dare you?
Eternals coming out.
Bro, Eternals will be good. What are you talking about, bro?
It's got Game of Thrones characters in it.
Dude,
I'll bring back no bad memories. Black Widow will be cool.
Dude, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Are you fucking high? It's gonna be fucking amazing.
It'll be cool, but it has the potential to be shit. as well.
What does that even mean? How would it be shit?
I don't know. It's just like making Falcon Captain America. They have to handle it in such a specific way, and if they don't do it right, they'll ruin the legacy.
They can't just make Captain America 4 with Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson being Captain America. There's got to be that transition movie.
Yeah,
when they make Captain America 4, they want him to already be Captain America.
Yeah.
So, because they will, I'm sure they will make literally Captain America, another Captain America movie, and it'll be Sam Wilson's Cap, which I literally cannot fucking wait for. So excited, beyond excited. Like, fucking half my socks and underwear are fucking Captain America. My fucking phone case is Captain America. I fucking love Captain America. I cannot wait. But and I can't wait for Falcon Winter Soldier because they're my boys. They're Steve's boys. They're my boys. They're the boys.
They're the lads.
They're the fucking lads. Like when I watch fucking Civil War and Winter Soldier, they're fucking boys.
They're the boys. They are, to be fair, and they've got great chemistry.
They do.
Anthony
It's going to
Mackie
be
and
fun
Sebastian
in and
Stan,
of itself. It's going to be fun, but also you're telling this transition story of Falcon becoming Cap and Bucky being there to help him. And I'm sure Bucky's got to go through also a redemption arc, not necessarily one personally because he's got to deal with like what he's done in the past and kind of feel better in himself that he's redeemed that, and also he's got some PR to cover up with the rest of the world. He's got to make himself look like a hero now.
Yeah,
you know, the world hates him, so he's got his own story arc to go through, which is very interesting. And Bucky's such a great character himself, and so that's dude. Anyway, we won't even get. We can't have shit. We're gonna get deep in MCU talk. Go on.
Just one more point. I was gonna say, basically, I feel like maybe what they might do is have Cap be the conjunction of the two characters. So Bucky is like the strength and the side that knew Steve personally really well throughout his whole life, and then Falcon is the heart of Captain America. And that's how they work together so well, because they both make two pieces of a whole. Yeah. Obviously, I could 100%. Be wrong. I think Anthony Mackie will do really well as like a front man. I think a lot of people don't have faith in him to be that role, but I don't think they don't have to worry about that at all. But I just want to know how that mantle of Captain America's handled, and I want to know how Bucky plays into it, because obviously we love Bucky and he's great and he was friends with Steve, but like, the fuck is he doing at the minute? What's his plans? Where's he going? Why is he hanging around with Sam?
Well, they're friends.
They are.
You know, and they have that connection to Steve and that brotherhood with each other, and that they've been through a lot. And, you know, I'm sure they want to help each other, and they're both got things they got to do. And I think mostly it's going to be, you know, Sam's going to be doing his thing. And he's going to be okay. Like, he doesn't have fucking things he's fucked up or a world that he's destroyed. Whereas Bucky has done all these horrible things in the past. He's got to go through... I feel like this is a redemption story for him. Yeah. And Sam's going to help him through that. And in that journey helping him through, he's going to be transitioning into that mantle of Captain America. I mean, from what I've heard about the story and from the short trailer we've seen, they take the shield off Sam and they give it to some dude that looks like Steve Rogers. And he goes and he's playing like Captain America did in Captain America 1, where he's going to football games. And at the halftime show, Captain America comes out and the fireworks go off, and does dances with hot chicks. You know, that's what they're doing. And then it's like, you know, because Captain America is supposed to be this guy, this handsome white guy. But then it's transitioning. By the end of that show, it'll be, no, this is Captain America now.
That'll be a good theme, to be fair.
Yeah.
The fact that, I mean, a black man will be...
Yeah. Timing.
Captain America. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can imagine they'll do some interesting stuff with that, you know, possibly.
Yeah. And Anthony Mackie's fucking awesome.
They'll just go, this is a superhero thing.
Anthony Mackie's fucking awesome. So
yeah, I love Anthony Mackie. He's a great actor. I don't think he gets enough credit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, and then down the road in 5 years, when they've finished Spider-Man 9 with Tom Holland, and they introduce Miles, and then they do more Spider-Mans. It'll happen, man. You know it's gonna fucking happen. You know what's gonna happen.
The current state of Spider-Man is like up in the air. It's not even on Homecoming and Far From Home aren't on Disney Plus, are they?
No, but they're not.
That's fucked.
They're not Disney owned.
That's true, but they're like integral to the MCU.
So, then buy them on Blu-ray like a fucking normal person.
I'm just worried that Spider-Man is going to be fucked about again for years.
Yeah, hey, mate, he might be, but let's just enjoy it right now, because right now he isn't. So let's just enjoy it, because nothing
we had
lasts.
a scare.
George, everything ends. Everything ends. So we've just got to enjoy shit while it lasts. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Let's just fucking enjoy it now.
That's true. And I mean, I think the better Spider-Man intellectual property is the Insomniac games anyway. Like, I think they're the original Spider-Man PS4 told a better origin. Well, not even origin story, but it told a better story than
Spider-Man story.
Homecoming, I think, yeah. And Far From Home, like, I love both those movies, but I still think the Spider-Man PS4 is a better story.
Right. I'm not a Spider-Man guy. I'm an MCU guy. So my favorite Spider-Man is Tom Holland, and my favorite Spider-Man movies or stories have been definitely Far From Home and Homecoming. But that's because I'm not a Spider-Man guy. Like I was never. I liked him, but I was never a Spider-Man guy.
I was a Spider-Man boy since day one.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Tobey Maguire,
admittedly not.
Still my boy.
I'm a cap. I'm a cap guy. I'm a cap guy.
That's true.
But I'm not a Spider-Man guy. But I love Tom Holland, and he's my favorite hero now that's current.
Yeah.
Other than once Sam transitions into Cap, and then it's obviously Sam Wilson. And Cap, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah. The MCU, cool.
The MCU, that thing still exists.
We've talked about all the main games that stood out from the PS5 event, the PlayStation 5 reveal. There's one last thing in this podcast I want to talk to you about. And that is The Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
It comes out end of this
soon.
year. End of this week. End of this year. Jesus Christ. End of this week. I talked a lot about it last podcast with Ethan, but obviously I'm interested where are you at with it? What are your thoughts on The Last of Us 1?
Still need to play it, really. I was thinking of streaming it over like the next week before The Last of Us Part 2.
No! Have you never played The Last of Us?
I've played the introductory section. I said this on the last Four Pillars one, didn't I? Yeah, it's a sin. It's a fucking carnal sin. It's like textbook, just
dude, I can't even
bad.
preview this. I just saw, George and I can preview The Last of Us Part 2. I can't even talk to you about this.
I mean, I know a fair amount about the game. I don't know spoilers, but I know the relationship between Ellie and Joel is something special, and I could tell that from the small amount that I played of the game.
Yeah.
The themes are fantastic. Yeah. The acting's crazy. The atmosphere's amazing.
The atmosphere is everything. That's what stands out to me, because I hate zombies. But yeah, the atmosphere, the tension, man.
Yeah.
Just watching the demos for The Last of Us Part 2, dude, like literally terrifying tension. The most terrifying parts are the human parts when you're like dealing with humans and they're all talking and you're sneaking around and you hear these conversations going. It's the same with The Last of Us 1. It's like that, where you're dealing with humans and they're talking to each other about they're looking for you and you're like fucking shitting yourself. Zombies, like, you can outsmart.
What's that trailer? Like the gameplay? Was it gameplay demo where Ellie there's 3 people and that like crazy woman that's like just saying weird shit. I don't quite remember fully what it was, but I remember watching gameplay of The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
And they handled the tension in the scene that I watched so well. Like Ellie was like trying to like keep her breath, like so she didn't fucking alert people that she was there, and just tropes like that are just, they add to that tension. You know, people are hunting for her, and she's got to fucking stealth it out and shit. And that was also the same vibe I got from the first game. The people are ultimately worse than the zombies themselves.
100%, and that's 100%. That's what's so terrifying, because like zombies aren't real. People are real. It's the same thing we were talking about earlier, is that who do you relate to? You put yourself in the circumstances. What if I was here with these people, like, looking for you, trying to kill you? Like, it's like, holy shit, this is terrifying.
Yeah, it would
and because
be fucking terrifying.
It's one of the most realistic games in terms of atmosphere. I mean, obviously, like, post-apocalyptic zombies not realistic, but the way it's acted and performed, there's no game you're going to play that feels more real person situation, where you literally feel like you're fucking there, than a Naughty Dog game. And especially The Last of Us Part 2 by the looks of it. It's insane, and all these reviews have come out 9.5s, 10 out of 10s, like, but it's no shock. It's, of course, this is exactly what you expected this to get. It's The Last of Us Part 2. It's a Naughty Dog game. Of course, it's going to get these reviews. Rightfully
so. It's the prodigal son.
But wait until players play it and they don't like the story ending, and everyone's going to fucking hate it. Even though it is rightfully so a 10 out of 10 game, I'm sure it is, because in terms of the game design, in terms of how it plays, in terms of the experience, there's not going to be another game like it. It'll be a once in a generation game.
Yeah.
And people will only look at, they didn't like how the story ended, so it's shit. Even though I was like, well, did you enjoy the 30 hours it took for you to finish the game? Was it literally like the most tense experience of your life? I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be one of the most tense game experiences of your life. It's about the journey, man, not always the destination. I mean, if it's so bad that it completely ruins everything before it, that's one thing. But if it's just like, oh, I didn't like that direction. Hey, bro, maybe just fucking relax, huh?
Yeah, just like look back on, like, did you enjoy it as you were playing through it, you know?
Yeah.
And most likely you probably did. It's a Naughty Dog game, like,
yeah,
they're legendary.
100%.
I think also the game will play, because obviously we were used to playing as Joel in The Last of Us 1. So he was like a big burly man, like he could muscle his way through things. Obviously Ellie is a little bit different. She's a young woman. She's obviously got a more frail figure. She's smaller. I think a lot of the situations are going to work a lot different. A lot of the time Joel could like punch people, smack people about. You know, he could like muscle his way through. I think Ellie's going to have to be a bit more cautious.
Dude, that's what I love about the way...
There's more people out there that can take advantage of her.
Yeah, man. Well, that's also the way she moves. It's so different, and the way she fights so different, and speed is her thing. You know, Joel's had the muscle, Ellie's speed. But this is what I said to Ethan. I said, this is even more tense, right? Because when you're playing as Joel, you feel like you're a strong man, and you're protecting this little girl. Now so you have, as the player, this relationship with Ellie where you've got to protect her. Now you're playing as her, this girl you feel like you need to protect. It creates attention even more. So every time someone hits you, it's different. When Joel got shot, I'm like, oh man, sometimes I'd get shot once to kill a few people. I'm not even going to want to get shot, even though you're not going to die. You're playing a game. I'm not even going to want to get shot because I can't let Ellie get hurt.
Yeah, it's Ellie, like the small, frail, like innocent girl.
Even though she's not at all, she's violent as fuck, and she's a savage. But
she's she's twisted, man.
That relationship you have as a player with her is so different. Where she was someone you were nurturing in one game, and now you're playing as her, and you still feel like you need to protect her. It's a whole different dynamic, and I can't wait to play this game. I've just bought it on my PlayStation 4 before we started the podcast, so it's downloading now. I can't wait till Friday to dive right in. It's Thursday or Friday? No, it's...
Oh god, I've got no clue.
I think it's Friday.
Thursday? Oh, okay, it's Friday.
The 19th. Yeah, it's the 19th. Yeah, Friday. Dude, can't fucking wait. Oh, I got the fucking... I'm not working next weekend. Fuck yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. Fuck yeah.
Just binging that game to fuck.
Yeah, I won't, but I'll play bits. It'll take me weeks to do it, but...
I need to play The Last of Us 1.
You need to play it fucking now. Start streaming it tomorrow.
Yeah, like I have to.
Holy shit.
I might actually set an event for tomorrow.
I actually don't think you should stream it.
I think is...
It's
such I was debating it.
Isolated experience, and for that tension to be there, it's like you're alone. You're like, I think you should just play it alone. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I could do. It's just
after
I would
this, man.
love
As soon
for
as you're
people
done,
to watch my. I'd love people to see my original reaction to it though, like a blind playthrough of The Last of Us.
Yeah, true.
That'd be crazy. People would be loving that, and also it'd be great for me to be able to look back on that as well, to my first experience with the game, and be like, that was when I first saw this moment, or when I first saw that moment. So it'd be like watching my original reaction. That'd be fascinating for me as well. I don't know. I'll think about it in my head. I'll have a little argument in my own head about it.
Yeah.
After the podcast.
Yeah. Well, dude, you got to get on it. You can't. Yeah, this is ridiculous. You've got to play it fucking now.
Yeah. Or else I'll be missing out.
Because this is an experience. Last of Us Part 2 is going to be an experience. Yeah,
like something that... I feel like, honestly, The Last of Us Part 2 has the potential to, like, if I were to play it, be, like, dethrone Red Dead Redemption 2 as my favourite game. Which I never thought a game would come along so quickly that could possibly do that.
Yeah, maybe. It depends what you're into. I don't know. Yeah, are you someone that loves zombies and shit?
When they're done right, and I think in the last
this is the only
they are.
Zombie thing I like ever.
Yeah.
I hate everything zombies, shows, movies.
Or even like you never played COD Zombies when you were younger.
No, I didn't.
With the boys,
dude, because I wasn't younger when COD Zombies was introduced.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I was like 7 when it came out.
I think I was like when first COD Zombies, I was like 14, and I was already like 82 in my head, and I was like, fuck that shit.
Fuck zombies, man. I'm all set.
Yeah. So no, I didn't play COD Zombies when I was 7, I didn't do it.
Yeah, but I think The Last of Us probably will handle zombies well. I mean, again, it's about the people. It's not about the clickers that are just like you barely run into.
The clickers.
That's what I've heard anyway.
People used to tell me, and I've said this a million times, but like people used to tell me, play The Last of Us. It's not a zombie game. It's not a zombie game. It's not a zombie game. Then I play it. I'm like, look, The Last of Us is amazing, and I actually did really like it. But let's be fucking clear about this. It's a fucking zombie game. It definitely is a zombie game. Let's not fucking...
Oh yeah, the whole premise is zombies.
Let's not mince words around. It's about zombies. This is a zombie game. There's zombies. It's a fucking zombie game. And that's what it is, and that's fine.
Because it was handled well.
I'd say it's handled the best. It's the only zombie thing I've ever enjoyed. And I look forward to... It's just the way the game's designed. It's something I love. I love the way that the Naughty Dog games play.
Yeah.
I love all the Uncharted games more than I like The Last of Us 1. But The Last of Us 1's still amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Uncharted is like always sort of unbeatable in many ways. Like, I think that is almost their magnum opus.
Genre. Yeah, it's just, to me, a better genre, whereas most people feel like The Last of Us is the best Naughty Dog game. But to me, I'd rather be playing a game like Uncharted. That's those themes, those narratives, those environments and worlds. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, Last of Us Part 2 this week. Exciting times.
Coming out soon.
Coming out very
It's
soon.
surreal to be saying that.
Finally, we've got some new things happening. The world's starting to get back to normal. Things are opening up. The world's changing, and there's new gaming. That rhymed.
The world's changing, and there's new gaming.
Exciting times. All right, George. Thank you so much, man, for joining me today and co-hosting this podcast. I fucking appreciate you for being here and through this time. So thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, man. Honestly, I've loved every second of it.
And of course, as well, big thank you to our Patreon producers. We wouldn't be here without ya. That's King Richard III, Damian, Avry Dobbs, Tony, the Arbiter's Delightful Penis, Josh Devillier, Adam Sundling, Patreon producer for the Cumhouse Podcast, aka Albrecht, DIDDLOTIC, Cat94, Viridian, Real Simon Hawkins, aka H12, and Bullseye47. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back once again next Monday for the Clubhouse Podcast, episode 86. I'm not sure whether James will be joining me. I believe so. James will be back on that show, but maybe not 100%. I want to make sure he's 100% good to go before he's back. But I think it's likely. I'd say it's likely, but I don't want to confirm just in case people get too excited and then it does happen. But then we can start to get back to normal. And the podcasts all start returning to normal. But, man, I've still really, I love podcasts, man. I fucking love doing podcasts. And as much as I've missed James, I've still loved every second of doing this podcast with you today. The Ethan show was so much fun as well. And doing Clubhouse with Jared. I've still loved doing this. I love podcasting more now than I did when I started doing podcasts 6 years ago. It really is the best part of my job. It's why, even though I don't do videos a lot like I used to, I still never miss a podcast. Even when my co-host is out of action, I still never miss a fucking show. I'll always be here. I mean, it's a pleasure coming on this podcast. It really is. Thank you, man. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, and that's the thing. I said to Ethan. Ethan goes, "Oh, thanks for I appreciate you thinking of me as someone who would want to co-host." I'm like, well, to me, the only people I could have it's you or Ethan. You two are the only other two I'd want to co-host. With me because I've been coming on this podcast since episode 14 or episode 7 or something like that. Your first episode was episode 14. Yeah, 14. I believe in 2015 or 16. I forget. I think it was 15, wasn't it? Because it was just after KCC was invented in 2014, wasn't it? Yeah, but there's only one episode, and then the first 12 were in 2015, so it would have been January 2016. Your first episode. Yeah, it was 2016. So that was 4.5 years ago. And you've been on this podcast a lot. You and Ethan are the two most frequented guests. You're not even really guests. When we did the Guest of the Year votes, 4 Pillars obviously won, but I'm not even going to... You guys don't count. I can't put you in Guest of the Year. If people vote, it's not fair because you're on every other episode, you guys. Give Robin Gaiman and, Colin Moriarty a chance. Come on. They can't contend with us. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly fucking right. And... that's the thing. You guys are as much a part of the show as James and I in a lot of ways because... this is the Four Pillars community mothership podcast. When it comes to the Four Pillars community, this is the As Always podcast is the main show. Every 10 episodes, or even more so, the Four Pillars come together. Ethan co-hosts with me, you co-host with me, or you're a guest with us, or Ethan solo's a guest with us, or you're both on and we're all together. Like, it's a shared space for all of us to share, all of us gamers to talk and chat shit and really connect with our community. That's why I love the podcasting, because it is about really creating this content that's entertaining, having these fun discussions, building these relationships with each other, and having a laugh, but also really it's the best way to really connect with the audience. I think in this long form conversation, they get to know us really well and how we feel, and we can talk about real shit like we did at the start of the show, and then by the end we're talking about, you know, comic books and games and stuff. Like, yeah, exactly. It's everything in between. So this, you know, I have a fucking full-time job that isn't playing games, and it fucking isn't as fun as this, I tell you what. So I can't, like, I'll never take a break from this, because this is my break from my life. Like, this doing the podcast is my break from my life. So I love doing this, and if anything, you know, James taking a break has cemented how much I love doing this, because it made me know that we can keep going. We can do this. The show goes on, and we can still put out entertaining content for the people.
The community's got each other's back, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah, exactly right. But at the same time, I can't fucking wait till James is back. Holy shit, I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I'm sure everyone's anticipating the return of the gamer himself.
Yeah, it's good. It feels like it's been so much longer than it has been.
Yeah, it does.
It's been so long. Yeah. But yeah, the people have enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed it. So again, thanks, man. Appreciate you. And we'll wrap this one up with, once again, this mega huge list of ridiculous names. So again, patreon.com/as always, $1 a month. Join the Sweet Vintage Lads. Hundreds of hours of podcast exclusive content with the Clubhouse podcast, the best podcast on the internet. But this is a close second. But come on, Cumhouse? Like, it's fucked. It's fucking filthy. You gotta get on it. If you love disgusting filth and cream pies, you'll love the Clubhouse podcast. Anyway, thanks to Sweet Vintage Lads. We have, once again, congrats to the third Damian, Avry Dobbs, Tony the Arbiter's Delightful Penis, Josh Devillier, Adam Sundling, Patreon producer for the Cumhouse podcast, aka Olberic, DIDDLOTIC, Cat94, Viridian, Real Simon Hawkins, aka H+12, Ballsack47, Casey Wood, Pink Flame 313, Henry, Sicarius, aka Ciaran, Kevin Bond, Aminul, Alfie Rowsell, No. How about you shut the fuck up? No one cares what you think. I don't like you. Go fuck yourself, aka Browny. Jesper Olsen, Lumistrad, Mario5380 is the king of RPGs. Kim Asaba Gamer, Cream Pies, Red Crowned Crane. Jared is my spirit animal. The Creed, Joshua Anderson, Fat Fuck Cuck, Brendan Obiku, Overlord Matt, Ravjai, Marquis de Ben, but then also Ben Desard, 1989. Philip Stillwagon. I need to figure out that meme. Kyle, Mag, aka the guy who makes his own Assassin Christmas, Diogo, Bleeding Edge, 274, No Mojo, Benedict Clobbers, Gwen Hughes, 2018-1998, 20 Max H, Genius with Bits in the Coal Mines, Owen Brain, Zeke, aka Frank from Destination Wedding, Son of a Bitch, OG Doggo, Noah Watch, Furious Coco, I'm a Fucking Psycho, 72557, Nick Miller, the ACMJS, Radok, Poplop is not dead. What the fuck is Poplop? Smexy Dork, Assassin, Connor Bully in the Alley, Panicchio, Kyle S. Jaws Marcus, aka Blackburn, Victor Eliason, Sandwich Man, Emil Catborg, Joshua Mora, Walshy Desard, 1989, Ginkgo Swag, Red Chunked Crane, Casper Coral is shagging on top of a hippogriff, my dick slick, thick, quick, sick, hard as a brick and a chick. By the way, my name is Rick. I fucking nailed that. That's the bass. Ashton, aka The Weekend Simp. Conversations plus our new bro, George Welford. I disagree. Joe the Sexy Boy Smith. Joe the Founded Marquis de Sade, 1989 Scarab. Gimme Your Penis. Evan Brown. Winona Ryder, aka Lindsay from Destination Wedding. Luca Alfie Rowsell. Brian Ford, aka The Thickest Cookie Tolls Ever Eaten. Brisk Brave Brigadiers. Brandish Broad Bright Blades. Blunderbusses and Bludgeons. Balancing them badly. Fishy. Jack DG 1998. Team Anna Travis. Billy the Team. Tana My Captain Robertson. Boogie Woogie. Budgie Boy. Thank you, Shrivich Lads, for talking about this fucking podcast. You're a bunch of fucking crazy kids. I love you all. God. Thank you for the support over this time. Patreon is bigger than it's ever been right now. We're already at 225 patrons. So we're already up this month by 5. Our goal for the month of June is 235 patrons, so 10 more to go. Join us, $1 a month. So much content, so much excitement. Join the clubhouse, join the movement. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, James. Fucking George, holy shit. I'll just force habit, is what it is. Thank you, George, for co-hosting with me today. Appreciate the shit out of you.
No worries, man.
And we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Love you, boys. Take care.